Okay, we are live, kind of.
Aha! And Angel and Edgar.
Yes.
Yes, live enough. Welcome to our playtest session of Vigil with Angel and Edgar and me. And so they are not that familiar with the system except for reading the playtest business. I'm afraid, too familiar with the system, and so I'm going to be telling everybody how it
Yeah.
works. Okay, so even though I just presented it that way, this is not really a performance. We're not performing to an audience, and as far as I'm concerned, we are just really here for ourselves.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we have a real basic idea. I know you guys have the first page, this one with the pictures on it. And the phrases there are chosen very carefully. This is based on vigilante superhero comics. So you know how the traditional superhero is more or less a friend of law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even if they don't like the hero still pretty much, you know, in the long run, the good cops realize that he's on their side, and the people on the streets kind of appreciate that the police are backstopped by the character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is very different. These are characters who have kind of given up on civil society, and they feel more for the people who are who don't really trust the law anymore. They feel more for the fact that somebody's got to do this and nobody really is. And so as far as society and the courts and the police are concerned, they're completely a menace. They're completely a problem. As far as they are concerned, they're the only constable in town. So now we're going to take it from there. Just how, you know, crazy your character is kind of something we find out.
All right.
You know, and so whether they're right wing or left wing, it's kind of hard to tell the difference at this point.
Okay.
And yet, you know, it's really, the way I'm going to put it here on the sheet is this. Adversaries are real. There is, perhaps, and there are individuals who are best described as the tumor in the social cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They may be very privileged, or they may be or not, but they may be in a very strong, they're in a very strong position of social power and influence. And they result from and they contribute to every institutional social problem. And then also there are individuals who have been so wounded, so ruined by the badness of society that they are berserk. They are just a menace. And you might even empathize with them a little bit, just like you might empathize with the other characters' sense that they are society. But that this other character is just as bad a menace. Mm-hmm. So I call them the mastermind or the monster.
Okay.
But either way, they express some aspect and result. Of us have to discuss for our game what's wrong. I mean, just as I have said, is your hate pure? What is it? We are no longer talking about with great power comes great responsibility. We are not talking about truth, justice, and the American way. We are talking about something that your character, and to the extent that you're going to be able to play this character, that you can kind of see yourself agreeing for now, maybe as a fantasy, you hate it this much too. For real. So what is it?
So for what we fight for, right? That's
correct.
That's the
or
question.
Against.
But in
Or
this
against.
case, it needs to be something that we hate from the real world.
That's right.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
we're going to embrace that for the brief time that we are playing this game.
Yeah. Yeah, you know those people
We
who
are
say,
breaking the law.
yeah. You know those people who say don't bring politics into my game. This is a factor into a
Well,
figure.
I think I'm long down that road already.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
There's a middle finger to that.
that's right. I'm afraid that I've been there for well over 15 years now. So I know that if they aren't talking about me specifically, then there may be a derived step or two away from me. Okay, so let's talk about this. Now, you guys live in England.
I
And-
do.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't.
Where are
Yeah,
you?
I'm Canary Islands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, you realize, of course, to a non-Brit that this is a very subtle distinction. I mean, what next? The Isle of Man, you know? So, you know, it's like that little church in Scotland, the single little teeny tiny church that isn't part of the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the wee free. So here we have this though. Now that makes 2 against 1 though from the UK. So or in the UK. So we have kind of an interesting choice. We could be playing characters in Sweden. We could be playing characters in the States. We could be playing characters in the UK. We could be playing characters in Spain. There's just a little too, it's a little rich. This is a very rich stew we have here. And but I'm going to say let's stick with where we are, where our bodies are. And if we go 2 against 1, then we should be talking about something to do with the UK at this time.
Yeah, I could do that.
So who is it? Who or what is it? What social phenomena right now are so past the point of tolerance that somebody would literally put on a mask or whatever and take action that routinely breaks the law against it? They've been doing it. This isn't your origin story.
Yes. So for myself, something I'm quite mad about, especially recently, is the state of the housing here. Basically, here is almost impossible for poor people, young people, to get proper like their own house, because like
or not being burned to death in a terrifying Holocaust if you don't have your own house.
Yes, pretty much. Yes, basically the old families or the old rich people own everything, and yeah, the prices are crazy. There's no way to have your own house. There's basically for everyone who is not rich, they are in a trap. And the system, like from the very foundations of the law, is designed to lead you into a very specific path in life. Or when do you have to get rent a room for yourself? When do you have to get the room for yourself and your couple? When do you have to get the house for yourself, your couple, and the kids? And everything is a structure to lead you in that path with no option whatsoever.
And the option is to be in crippling debt.
Basically,
Right.
yes.
Okay, well, it should be. This is a fine example of the austerity comes home. You know, a tactic originally designed to destroy the economy of Chile. For some reason has been adopted as domestic policy. And it's happened in the States, and it's happened in the UK, and it's happened a couple of other places that are very tightly connected to the United States economically. It's happened in Israel. There's massive young people, a lot of people leaving there simply because of this exact issue. To go live in Berlin, for example, which is a lot more fun. So anyway, though, so we had that, and the actual cost to society is much more than just somebody not being able to buy a house. I mean, I mentioned before the disaster earlier this year. We have at the same time complete failure of infrastructure for low budget housing and for apartments of all kinds. So, I mean, where are you going to live? I mean, if you're not going to get yourself and hawk to this house, where are you going to live? You're going to live in this place, which is incredibly dangerous. And don't tell me that was the only tower. That was just a one little teeny tiny spot, the bad luck spot in the entire British Isles.
Yeah, and something interesting about London and the way it's built. In London, there's many low rent apartments in the middle of fairly middle class places, and the reason is because if you look at the historic data, they were built when the bombs fall during the Second World War. And wherever a bomb exploded, they just built it there.
Interesting. Okay. So an interesting checkerboard of income. Okay. Edgar, what is your thinking on this? Are you shaking your head and saying, no, Theresa May is a saint? What's wrong with you people?
No. I'm just listening. I don't really know much about UK, so I can't like share my thoughts about this.
Are there any similar issues at the Canary Islands?
In the Canary Islands and in the entire Spain right now, the main theme is corruption. So that's like we have a problem with rent and with housing as well. It exploded on our faces. Because for a long time we lived with loans, préstamos.
Yes.
With loans that the banks gave us, and then it was all a bubble of money, and that exploded, and people are now in bankrupt, are losing their houses because the banks scared themselves and then started to ask the people to pay, and if you don't pay, you get with no house, you result in not having anything and being homeless on the streets.
So a good way to put it is debt as literal violence against people and their ability to live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I feel the same way. And I think that we can work with this. So as far as location is concerned, do you guys want to set it in? I mean, the Canary Islands is kind of an interesting idea. Do you want to set it there?
I've never been there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. If you guys want, I don't mind.
Well, you see, whoever is living where we play becomes kind of the GM for the details.
Okay.
You're going to have to say what it's like.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
if someone says a coffee shop, what is it like? If somebody says a bank, what does it look like? What's the biggest urban area, for example, there? I don't know that because I am ignorant and I'm embarrassed that I don't know that, but I don't.
So
we're actually 7 islands.
Okay.
I'm on Tenerife, which is the biggest and has the greatest volcano of all Spain. And it's like the capital of all the 7 islands. So
cool. Is it cool? I mean, is it a neat city?
Yeah. I think it's something interesting because in the capital of the city is alongside the sea, and it's like everything in Santa Cruz, which is the capital, is these high buildings, these are areas. It's all it all ends with the coast and the beach, and it's like Miami, which is always seaside and that stuff, and that's I think it's interesting
because all of that is for the tourists, right?
Yeah,
and the actual people who from Spain who live there,
we live in crappy holes. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. I see. Okay, so the yeah. So I kind of like this. Angel, are you okay with this?
Yeah, sure. Let's give it a try. It would be nice to be in a place with sun for once.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's true. I get. Well, hold on. I get. Let's see. The sun gave us about 3:30. I'd say about 5 hours of sunlight today.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking about clouds. I'm talking about sunlight, sunsets. So
right now we're in winter here, and we are at let me see how many grades. 16
degrees.
16 grades.
Degrees.
In degrees in Celsius. So it's not even cold.
No, it's not that bad actually. Okay.
It's always this temperature all the year.
And no snow?
No snow.
Okay.
I haven't seen the snow in my life.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's carry on from here. So that's kind of an idea. Let's move straight into what we call the sketch. And I don't know if you guys have the file. If you do, that's great. Yeah. Because when we do things in play, we've got the sketch, the base, and the motivation. I bet that's behind my head. Motivation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sketch base.
So let's take a look at our sketch, and you don't have to work together on this. The first thing in the sketch is the appearance. The appearance is, at this point, just choose whether your character wears ordinary clothes of some kind plus a mask, or whether they have some kind of distinctive outfit and no mask, or whether they have both.
This will have an impact on the in-game.
All I can say is that this is less of a tactical choice than it will have a big impact on certain events as we play.
On the kind of stories we tell, right?
Well, you will see. But but the point is that you cannot say, well, this gives you this many dice and this gives you that many. Okay. So then the second one is how your character is armed. And so your character either now this isn't what they know how to do. Technically, I guess they could use any of them at the moment. But a character may rely primarily on non-lethal fighting. That means they may use a weapon, but it would not be a killing weapon necessarily. It would, and they might have no weapon and just use their fists. But they basically are not. You don't look at them and say, "Oh no, that guy's going to kill me with that." Whereas the next option is that it's a handheld weapon of some kind. It is not a firearm, but it's deadly.
It's a knife. It's sort of
the famous katana.
Okay.
Right. Or a very popular one in the comics actually is a bow, which could either be a crossbow or a longbow.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about Green Arrow on the first comics, on the comics, the darker comics of Green Arrow.
Yes, there was a very distinct switch. In fact, they made it one of their most promotional devices, that the trick arrows that he relied on all this history as a superhero, that was out. He was using hunting arrows now.
Yeah.
So then the other option, of course, is obvious. Guns. Right.
Yeah.
And so these do have effects in play that we will be dealing with, but again, it's not a matter of magnitude.
Right. If you
So
have guns, you can use the lethal weaponry. I assume it's like cumulative.
well, more accurately, you will be able to use a non-lethal attack with, you can switch up these a little bit, but it's much more difficult. So
Yeah,
we're
you
really
don't have a katana and two SMGs.
not to begin.
Ah,
Not to
okay.
begin. Right. Your character may become like that.
Okay.
But okay, so that's only the second thing in the sketch. The third thing in the sketch is their status. And these are not social class, these are much broader than that. Your character is either so wealthy that they don't really know or care what money is. They don't have to buy things. Somebody manages something to do with that, but really there isn't very much to do with the character's daily life. Whereas if they are homeless or destitute, they are completely off of the social order of how you get wealth. They don't make it in an ordinary way. They don't have it. They aren't recognized for it. And they may be completely wretched or they may live comfortably, but they are definitely not part of any kind of system, and they don't have resources that are available to most people.
Okay.
And then finally, the other one is what I'm calling in English the average Joe or Jane. They have to work for a living, but the income level is extremely broad. They could be, this is working class, middle class, a lot of affluent people too. The point though is that they define themselves in large part by their job, and they keep their lifestyle going because they perform this kind of work.
Okay.
Right. So then the fourth thing in the sketch, so you guys should be picking as you go. You should be picking as we go. And then the fourth one is young, or adult, or old. And these are also defined in an interesting way. Young is defined as right at that border of being a legal adult. And just before, really. And then the adult is the broadest category. Old means other people don't expect you to be working anymore or doing anything like that. Maybe you are, but nobody wants you to, or you don't.
Okay.
And usually that's fairly old. So, well, what I mean is they make that decision based on your age. So, so you'll notice that although they do have literal age involved, all of these designations are more of a matter of social categories. So then, finally, powers. And there are three kinds of powers, and you pick one. One of them is the easiest. It's called motif or elemental. Your character commands some kind of force or principle or energies or some kind of quality of their body which makes them extremely effective in the moment. So it ranges, most superpowers are in this category. Whereas then there are two which are a little strange. One of them is called coincidence or sleuth. So either trying to or not trying to, your character discovers things and is better oriented toward everything than everybody else. And it may be a superpower or it may not. But, or you may be just very skilled, or you could just be stupidly lucky. It doesn't matter, but you'll find out if you look at the comics, all of those are really the same thing.
Yeah.
They get the character into situations when another character would not be there, and they find out things about situations that other characters don't. So really, that's it. And then finally, they're not so good right in the middle of a situation, but they get you in and out of situations really, really well. And then the other one, Cosmic and Mystic, has the same quality of orienting the character, but it's because they command energies and have awareness of things that are outside of reality as we know it. So they may be, a returns dead person who considers themselves to be the wrath of God. And they actually know, they don't have any problem. It's not even a question that they know everything about a given person's history when they look at them. Or they may be able to just snap their fingers and then all of the possible future possibilities of the situation appear before their eyes. And so they are also a little less effective in the moment, but only because what they do in the moment is very unpredictable. So if they call upon their energies just for fighting or something like that, well, look out. All kinds of things are going to happen. So so those are the three categories of powers, and so you should pick one.
Okay.
And so
one for each character. It's not.
In other words, could you have the same one? Yes, you could. That's okay. So about as the time as we get there, you should sort of specify them. If you say a mask, tell me what does it look like? If you say, I'm an average Joe, well, what is that job? If you say, my abilities are coincidence sleuth, what does that look like? Are you sitting at a computer, or are you, lurking, in an alleyway or something, or talking to an informant? What does it look like when you do these things? So nothing too special, just a basic look. That's why it's called the sketch. Think of the artist just sketching right now. Because if the artist does a few sketches right now, this is exactly what we will learn, just enough to be interested and no more.
Okay.
So do we have our sketch?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should also point out, I should have said this, mask doesn't have to be a mask over your face. It could just be that your face is completely inhuman or messed up or otherwise strange. That's true too. So good. If you have your sketch underway and we know what we hate, then we are a good distance into, we know the setting and the city. Now this is the tricky part, perhaps, but it is less tricky than you may think. In the rules, there are 8 May Court roles. And these are completely not in the fiction. Nobody calls your character the May King. It's not part of the perceptions. This is strictly story talk. And the way to look at them is the way that they interact with their communities. So the May King is a force for either creation or destruction or both, can be both. The presence of the May King means the community is going to change because a great deal of things are going to be created or a great deal of things are going to be destroyed or some of each. And the same thing goes for all of them. If you have that list in front of you, you can see that each one has a little back and forth. Some of them are a little more subtle than others. Maybe for the first time we play, you don't have to be as subtle. Or maybe you are just interested, that's okay. Each of you picks one, they have to be different.
Okay.
One of us has to pick the advocate, right?
That's correct. One of you has to pick the advocate. This game is intended for 2 or 3 players. So that's another point. The advocate is obviously going to be a central piece of play in that context. But it's also interesting relative to what? An advocate relative to a fool is very different from an advocate relative to a magistrate.
What is special about the advocate?
There are several rule things that are very special about the advocate. They can call for a scene where they challenge either the other player or the adversary sometimes, and are able to have an interaction with them, which is actually a conflict. And that is a big part of the advancement system. So yes, this I don't want to distract people too much with this, but you may be surprised to learn that in the classic comics of this kind, the most obvious advocate is the Punisher.
Because he's questioning everyone else.
Right. And so the advocate could be doing it through action less than dialogue, but of course the Punisher won't shut up about it either. So other advocates may be gentler. The way I put it is that the advocate player needs to make his or her character significantly worse or significantly better, in their own opinion, than the other characters. You don't have to tell us which.
I'm between the advocate and the May King. What do you think, Edgar?
I'm thinking about the sorcerer and the advocate.
Okay.
I could go with an advocate.
Okay. So we've got the advocate and a sorcerer?
Yeah.
Okay. The interesting difference between the sorcerer and the May King, for one thing, the May King also connotes a certain amount of authority of some kind, but also the sorcerer connotes a certain kind of independence and separation to some extent. But the important thing is that the May King will be producing their energy no matter what. The sorcerer can either surge in energy or choose to keep it back.
Okay.
So think about that. That's kind of and from now on, these roles are not referred to in play again. They are not, we don't say, well, you're the priest, so you have to do this, or anything like that. There's no special rule that says, except for the advocate, there's no special rule that gives them, they're not like classes because they don't give you subset, or skins because they don't give you subsets of the rules. Okay, onward. Finally, and this is the one that takes the most time probably, is are the motivations. Do you have on the rules the little list that says what the numbers mean?
Yes.
5 through 0.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at your sketch so far. Edgar, what's your sketch so far?
Okay, so outfit no mask, lethal weaponry, young, rich, elemental, and sorcerer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so what does the mask look like, or the outfit too? I mean, briefly.
No, it has no mask. It has only an outfit.
Only an outfit. And let's say it is gold and light purple with little stars.
It's probably it probably wears a cape.
Okay. Okay.
But I see it with a suit, like it's like a robe.
Yes.
I picture it like a robe with black, and the borders are like gold. The borders of the cape and all the robe are gold, and the inside are all black.
Oh, okay. So what? And so then you said he's young. You said he is rich, and he's also. Let's see. What is the lethal weapon?
It's I thought a sword.
Okay.
A sort of. I picture a dagger, more like a sword.
Right. Okay. And then finally, the energies, the powers. Do they have a distinctive? Well, they have to have a distinctive look. I mean, somebody's drawing this, so.
Yeah, it's elemental. So I had a question here. Does elemental mean it is the elements, right?
No, really. Oh. Almost any superpower you can think of counts.
Okay.
I mean, whether it's animal or I mean, it's really, unless it's really cosmic, which would be the cosmic mystic, it's going to count.
Okay. So I think
nearly every superhero has this.
I think everything has marks on the world, like ancient marks that we don't kind of see, but they are there, and my character channels that marks in order to get his energy to make things, more like the Green Lantern with the ring,
Right, right.
but it channels the world around him.
I see. Okay, cool. And that's fun to draw because then we get to see this cool rune on the wall, glowing and stuff. Okay, and then he makes a thing. Okay, so all right. Well. The Could it be too? I mean, when he makes the thing, is it like Green Lantern where it is a very distinctively created thing that you can tell he made it?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
not like coincidence. It definitely is him.
That's just right for the motif elemental. And second, maybe the sword is something like that, just permanently there.
It's probably sprawled with runes. That dagger.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So then we have your character. What's our sketch look like?
So he has an outfit with mask. He uses lethal weaponry. He's an average Joe or Jane. He's an adult. He has coincidence or sleuth powers.
Okay. Excellent. So what does the mask and outfit look like? Because that's kind of important for a combination like that.
Yes. I'm trying to decide because I've changed. I previously didn't have a mask, but then I say I should have one. I'm thinking basically is yes, the mask is like if you took the face of a Greek statue and made it into a mask.
Oh, okay.
It's like a kind of
an impassive face.
Yes,
like the Kabuki theater.
Right.
But it's Greek.
Yeah, something like that. Like something like a beautiful but so terrible.
Right.
Same time.
Right. Yes, I see. Okay, so we have also your motivations. As a young character, you can either have 3, 3, and 1, or 5, 5, and 1. So 1 is very simple. Just I and what it is, what you do. And then the others are either two kind of intense ones or 2 very conflicted ones, depending on how you want to do it.
I go with 551. Yeah.
Okay. And so those are a little bit long to write. They are full of things.
Yeah.
Because you say,
Very
I might
specific.
want to, and you might want to do this. And when you say do this, it has to involve somebody or something. But except for that, which is some kind of complicated aspect of these things. So, so I'll leave you with your pencil for a minute or two. So, I have.
Yes.
As an adult, you have 2 very different options. You either have 2, 2, 5, or you have 1, 3, and 5.
I think I'm going to go for 1, 3, 5.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, my weapon is a sledgehammer.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Okay, so
Now, bear in mind that these motivations are where you are going to be. They are very important in effectiveness. The lower the number, the more effective. And if you are doing something for which you don't have a motivation, we will invent a motivation at 4 for you to use in that moment. That's how it works. So your character can do anything, but if you don't focus on your motivations, you're running around with 4 dice to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
All right.
Hmm. Okay. I have something.
I have something too, I think.
Okay.
Wow, but I only have one right now because
Okay.
it's. Could I read it to you? If
Yes.
okay, so I might want to finish Rain's empire because he killed my father, but that will throw everything my father built to the garbage.
Oh, that's pretty good. What
Okay,
is this? Who is the person?
Rain, Rain. Okay, but it has no number. I invented a like a hero number. Okay,
Wait. Wait. I'm not. I don't know what you mean by a number.
name. Sorry.
Name. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so nombre.
So
Yeah. So we've got. So
I call it Rain, but it's a superhero name, not a personal name. So
right.
I have
So
to rewrite it
that's
to
okay. A
be
person. Yeah. But make it a personal name.
okay.
Right. Angel. Any ideas?
Yes, I have ideas for all of them, but I have to make them more concrete. So for the first one, which is the number one, the self-identifying, basically the idea is I want to take from those who took from me, and by that I mean the people, the powerful people who took everything from me. I want now to feel the same I did, to strip everything from them and make them as miserable as they made me.
Right. So the right. So this is just. However, first of all, the way you are saying this sounds like number three.
Hmm.
I want to do this to these people.
Hmm.
That's number three, completely.
Okay.
And so the verb, it sounds to me just like take. I want to take back what they stole.
I don't know if
Or,
back.
oh, I see you don't need it for yourself. It's too late for you. Okay. You
Yes.
want to, I see. I want to ruin. I want to ruin them. And who are they exactly in this
So
case?
I'm thinking. So I'm thinking of some kind of corporation, some kind of
So what is the name? Is it a property or is it a financial?
Yes, I mean, let me think a cool Spanish name for a corporation. It's probably like something like a family name or something like that. Um, so I'm really really bad with names.
That's
Uh,
why I like to keep one of the things I want to do is to have a quick reference. But the trouble, of course, is that you can't do that without creating a false culture in your game.
Yes.
And so I'm afraid you're going to have to think about, okay, what was your name? What was the name of the first teacher you remember?
Let's see. I know their names, not their surnames. That's the
Oh, I
problem.
see. Oh, okay.
Oh, there was yeah.
Well, okay, I don't mean this to be so hard.
Yeah.
So what's another verb? Another motivation. For the number one, remember it's just two words.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I see. Kind of the opposite of building something would be to destroy it, something, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I destroy.
Okay. So you're going to, that's ruin and destroy. How nice.
Yes.
Okay. So what about your fifth one?
Just a second. Destroy. People who work for the company are guilty as well, but
No,
they
okay, go ahead.
but they're also victims.
So pick somebody. Your character has somebody in mind when they say that.
Oh, okay.
People names with in Spanish or in English?
Oh, well, we are here. Yes, Spanish, of
Yeah.
course.
Spanish. Okay.
Okay, so I think Alberto Rodriguez.
Okay.
Alberto Rodriguez is as guilty as his father.
So what do you want to do? What might you want to do to Alberto Rodriguez?
The same thing I'm going to do to his father, but maybe he can still be saved. Maybe.
So this is what you should say. To make this a different motivation,
Yes.
you say, I might want to save Alberto Rodriguez. He is as guilty as his father, but he's also a victim.
Yes.
Okay, so that's so good. Save, ruin, and destroy. Now you realize, of course, that you are not saying anything about preserving your own character.
Yes.
Right, okay. Okay, just checking. So then just want to make it clear, if you want to, for example, defend yourself from being shot, you might want to live.
Okay.
Just keeping that in mind.
All right.
But, you can always invent that at 4 dice, no problem. Okay, so then we have, you will notice that these characters tend to get shot a lot, especially these really, really severe ones. Okay, so Edgar, are we a little bit further?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we
Story
have?
one for the self-identifying, I create.
Okay.
Totally the opposite.
Right, okay. And then for the number 5 and number 5?
I might want to give Jaime the control of the police, but that will finish with me and all the other Avengers.
Okay, you might want to, what is it, to give somebody the police?
Jaime the control of the
Oh, I
police.
see, okay, right, okay. To give
But that
control,
will
let's
put
see,
me behind bars.
Right, to give control, interesting. Trying to think of a, We could leave it there. And then finally, what is the other one? I might want
I might
to.
want to finish Javier Delgado's empire because he killed my father, but that will throw everything my father built to the garbage.
Got it. And so then the only thing we need is the name. Alberto Rodriguez is the son. Is it the Rodriguez company or the?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Or to be more precise, that there is their company, but it's the Rodriguez family.
Right. But what is the name of the company?
It will be Rodriguez e Hijos, Rodriguez and Sons.
Okay. Rodriguez Hijos. Okay. So we have those. So now we have some things to work with. And so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, the only last little tiny bit, take a look at your characters now. How would you pick two words that are very different, almost the opposite effect for your character or for the people or things that your character affects? How would it work out very well as far as the character is concerned or you are concerned? How would it work out very badly? So, so one could say for a character that I've seen in the past, family/loss.
Oh, okay.
So if things go very well, then family is validated in some way, or the character may feel like they're more of a part of one, or some other family may have benefited, or something like that. Or something will be irretrievably lost. So think of this as the immediate crisis for your character that your character may not even know yet.
Okay.
That we will have in mind a little bit as we go along.
I mean, in my case, I was thinking something very related to family.
Don't think in terms of how this happens or anything like that. And if they're a little vague and you don't see how it would happen, I don't care.
Okay.
Think of it as if we were looking at the page that was telling us about this comic, the advertisement, and the little line, you know, there's the some of the little copy on the page, the words on the page say something like, you know, you know, justice
Versus.
well, or justice versus insanity. Oops. That's kind of perfect for one of your characters. So but something like that.
Yes.
There's a terrible scratching noise on the sound.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't something that somebody is doing, or
Maybe it's the chair. Yeah, I think. Chair.
okay. All right, so when you feel like you have it, just let me know, and then we can move straight into just initiating play. And if you want a scene, or not, let's not use that word too strictly, but if you want to have us go to a situation where your character is functioning without in their outfit, you know, just dealing with the people around them in some way or with their daily life, just start telling us about it. that's what you can do by yourself. And later in play, you can agree, the two of you can decide to do something in action together. That's fine.
Mhm.
And then there's also situations that I initiate whenever I want, which is, well, let's just say that they are bad things that are happening, and who knows if you can stop them.
Okay. So I picture my character as really thoughtful about the order, trying to reestablish the order, trying
Sure.
to get the corrupts out of the city by any means necessary, and at the same time he's trying to clean to retaliate against the people that kill.
Right. So really the trouble, you can see how those might work against each other. Is he going to sacrifice order for his vengeance, or is he going to concentrate on the order, perhaps at the price of revenge, of not getting his revenge? So order and vengeance, how's that?
Yeah, order vengeance. Yeah,
How
I
about-
was thinking order chaos or order bloodshed.
Yeah, let's say yeah.
Order
Let's say,
vengeance is cool.
yeah. Okay. You know, I'm going to, for some reason in English, I like the word revenge better in this. Order or revenge. It has kind of a nastier sense to it.
Okay.
So, and then how about you, Angel?
I'm undecided. Basically, I don't know how to express. Maybe justice is the right word. Maybe it's not. But kind of justice sounds too nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might be justice for him.
That's the thing. I don't want justice. I want well,
Closure.
Well, perhaps in the sense that you want, I know what you mean. You want justice in the sense that the people who are responsible have been identified
Purged.
and yeah,
Purged.
that right.
Something like purge.
Well,
Cleansing.
perhaps, but you could even say purification.
Purity,
Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Purity.
Yeah. And then on the other hand,
Hmm. Something like demonization, like being demonized.
right, that makes sense. Damnation.
Damnation.
Damnation. Yeah.
Purity against damnation. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah. I like these. I like these a lot, in fact. So let's see, we've got order and revenge, and we've got purity, damnation, and then we have, you might want to be thinking about a name for your character. In Spanish, I insist. And so like I said in the interview, I'm sick of, English hegemony in role-playing. So,
Yeah, that's the streamlined version. We always go there.
right. Well, think of it this way. This is being done by a Spanish artist who knows what he is talking about.
Okay.
And then a whole bunch of people at DC and Marvel will copy his style and become famous.
Okay, surname. So this is a common name, and also the hero. Or
Oh, I forgot to say. No, it's perfect. I know exactly how you name your character. I should have told you. This is actually kind of a thing. It says here, Your hero name is what they call you. It expresses the fear that you strike into those who do not understand. They don't get how important this danger is. They don't see it. They still believe that the law and the government will take care of this sooner or later. They think everything will work out okay. They fear you. This name expresses that fear. It may not be what you'd like to be called, or you might not mind. If we want to be especially nasty, we let the other player make it up for you.
Oh yes, that would be great.
Okay. Oh, all right, Angel. What is the other character called? What do people fear about them because they don't understand?
So you are all about bringing order.
Yeah.
So it says.
It's on one hand we have he's trying to reestablish the order in the city and take out all the corruption, and on the other hand he has his personal revenge, his personal vendetta against the man that killed his father.
Yeah, thinking something. I'm thinking something. Corrupt.
Is title in English or in Spanish?
Oh, this is definitely in Spanish. This is
Yeah.
what the people right here call you. So you're talking about something that is okay. So all right, think about it a little bit. Okay. Just think about it a little bit, and Edgar, feel free to. I'm sure that this individual with his sledgehammer and his what does your scary mask look like again? I forgot.
Oh yeah, like the face of a Greek.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
statue
Yes.
with
correct.
with a crack, kind of in the middle, going from
Right. Oh, I see. Okay. You're getting stranger by the second.
Yes. and basically everything else, the outfit is kind of like a military metalhead gone wrong.
Right. Okay. So yes, and then this guy shows up and smashes you with his sledgehammer. So it'd be kind of interesting to what people call that. Okay, so go ahead and come up with these things. And remember, we don't have to be sophisticated. The Punisher is not exactly the most subtle name ever made for a character. So tell me, either of you, describe something your hero is doing in his or her personal life.
In my case, and you just want me to generally describe it. So I will be basically it is during the day, and we are in a construction site. There's some it seems to be some kind of building, probably a hotel or something like that, near the coast. And the sun is really high and really bright, and underneath it there's a bunch of workers, construction workers, just going a little on the side, building the foundations of the new building. And in one of the corners, kind of by himself, there's this guy, kind of big guy, who is wearing the working suit, the kind of one-piece working suit, but
right.
He has taken off the upside, and he's hanging by his and he has this really big and heavy sledgehammer, and he's basically hitting one of the he's hitting something like probably kind of the bare rock of the ground, turn it to pieces.
Okay, so he's working.
Yes.
Okay, so we got this construction guy working. What's his name? Just quick and easy.
Yeah. Alberto Medina.
Okay, so what do we have with so Edgar? What is your character? Now this is kind of interesting. We have this very crazy, super guy with his wizard robe and everything, and but I want to get a look at him in his personal life.
Right now he's on the seaside. He has gone with he rented a fancy car, and he's taking a walk over the richest part of the city, and he's buying everything he can with his card, and he's trying to he knows he has a business to try and because he's the only heir from a
Okay, sure, but I just want to see what he's doing.
Okay,
at this point.
so I think he's shopping right now.
Okay, sounds good. So we're getting a look at what it's like to shop at the high end of Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And so I have no really good image of that. Can you help me a little bit? I mean, are people helping him and coming up and talking to him? Do they know who he is? Is this high up, or is it down in a nice kind of trendy market, or what does it look like?
Yeah, this is the center of a city. This is the heart, and you can see the agglomeration of people. At the other side of at the bottom of this street, there's the sea, and it's incredible to watch. And yeah, the people helps a lot, and they know who he is.
What do they call him? What's his name?
Tobias Reed.
By the way, whenever you want to know it, I think I have a name for you.
Okay. What's my name?
By the way, before that, Edgar, apparently there's some kind of sound when you talk. There's like a sound interference when you talk. I don't know if there's something going on with the mic or something like that. Not sure what is going on. Anyway, I thought that your name should be El Santo, the Saint.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so then we have, let's see. Okay, I'm just listening to the different microphones and sounds. So now I want to talk a little bit about, now that we've seen your characters and this point, again, tell me when you want to talk about your character in your non-vigilante situation and activities, and dealing with a character who's relevant to your character, perhaps even mentioned in a motivation. So, but you are the one who says this. If you want, so let's see, if for example, Edgar, if you want Tobias to run into Alberto Rodriguez and like talk to him right now, you are the one who does this, not me.
Okay.
I have no control over that. So if you want your character to interact with these other characters, or maybe someone who's not listed that you just thought of all of a sudden, in a personal way, out of being this vigilante, you go ahead and do it. in the future, this is the only way your character recovers from damage. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so it's probable that it seems likely that that building that it's being built is funded with my company for my company. Sounds right.
Sure, why not?
And then it's probably I.
Well, we are talking about you shopping right now, right?
Yeah.
So you could stay with that, or you could have some other personal thing going on. Are you saying you want to shift over to the building or dealing with the building? That's fine. Go ahead. I'm just saying you have a lot of power here.
Okay. Yeah, I probably have to at least show my face on the on this place because there will be there will be the press and I'm the rich boy behind this and I have to put my face on the front. So
is there anybody?
I'm probably going there only to make a press conference.
Is there anybody in your motivations who could be there for you to interact with?
Yeah.
Who is
probably Javier Delgado, probably.
Oh, so the big man himself.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's terrible, right? There he is with his silver hair, and it's and you are there, and everybody, it's good. It's good to see you there, but maybe the way you said it makes me sound. It sounds like you're not as comfortable there as you want to be. You want to be off, shooting magic swords at people or something. Yeah. But instead, but this guy, Javier, is very comfortable here.
Yeah, because he's the head of my company. I have no, I don't have the age to inherit the corporation. So
I see perfectly. Oh, it's so terrible. He speaks for you. He tells everybody what you would say.
Yeah.
And somehow, yeah, it's so nice, What's your character's last name again? Surname?
Ruiz.
Which is spelled
R-U-I-C. ¿La Z cómo es?
Oh, yeah, Ruiz. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, this is the problem, of course. My Spanish is Mexican. and that name sounds completely different. Completely different. Okay. Yeah, it's a common name, I know it, but believe me, if I said it, you guys would cover your ears. So we have I see. Okay, well, yes, well, it's so nice that young Senor Reef is here because he's it's nice that the memory of his father can be represented here today, that and perhaps one day you will live up to that legacy. And so then he says he tells them what your father would have said, which is nothing like what your father would have said.
Yeah. And it pissed me off.
Yeah. So the question is whether you want to enter into some sort of little conflicts with him. I will be happy to start rolling some dice against you right now. I mean, this is a strike against. This is going to be, this could be kind of dangerous. Yeah. He could be striking at your confidence, which is the worst injury in the game.
Oh, okay.
He could be striking at your confidence right now, simply by talking shit like this.
Yeah.
And he's good at it.
By talking shit about my father.
Well, but it's
even more than told to me.
Well, he's very nice to you, of course.
Yeah.
He's always very nice. So yes, I mean, we are talking about this is kind of thing going on here. He is going to get his quick sketch, and characters like this are actually very easy to sketch up real fast. And so, of course, when I say how real fast and easy the sketch is, that is a dream of mine as a designer, and not necessarily the reality. So I'm going to simply grab the right handful of dice for him. There we go. Yes. Okay.
I have a
Yeah.
name for the hero, a hero name for angel. I think.
Oh, what is that? Yeah.
This El Ángel Caído, which is the fallen angel.
Oh, okay. El Ángel Caído. Yeah.
We have El Santo and El Ángel Caído, the same
Yeah.
than the fallen
Oh,
angel.
an angel. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, Spain is kind of very Catholic originally, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, of course. No, I've been getting quite a lot of that in my games lately.
Hmm.
Okay, so now we have well, good. We have this kind of conflict going on. He wants to humiliate you. That is the motivation. I want to humiliate Tobias Reeve. This is one of his motivations. What a surprise, right? And he has a base of 1, so he's got his dice ready to go. Now, how are you going to defend against this?
So now I look my motivations and I'm trying.
Well, the first thing to do is you're going to use your confidence, and you have a confidence of 1.
Okay.
You have all your base for all 3 of you. Your basis is 1.
Confidence of 1. Okay.
Yes. So that is 1 die right there. And then you also have your what is the word I want? You also have your motivation. And so look at your motivations and see if any of them could operate defensively toward this kind of humiliation. They might not.
Right now I don't see that.
Okay, keep it easy.
The motivation of 5 will.
Right.
I don't know if
Yes.
I could create a speech.
Well, not really, because you are not creating anything into existence. So,
Okay.
or more accurately, yeah, I mean, whether with or without your powers, this is, so yes, you have your 4, and you say, I might want to, and then what are you going to do to defend? What verb matters here? You might want to defend your father's memory. You might want to.
I might want to honor my father's memory.
Good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So that's 4 dice plus your 1. So you have 5 dice, and I have 4 dice. So we are going to roll.
Okay.
And this is this is kind of interesting. So let's be a little more careful. I'm working with my new rules for this, so it's a little tricky. Tell me what you're going to do that's a little more active, not just defending. You could use the same one. You could be a lot, but if you are being active toward him, you can be a little bit more. You could just want to defend, but you might want to do him a little damage. So do you tell me which one? If you just want to defend, that makes this easy.
Yeah, I want to defend, because if I attack, it will mean that I will actively respond to him in front of the press. And right now, that's not good for the image of the corporation.
Perfect.
And my father's legacy is the corporation, so I can't start to destroy it right now.
Right.
in front of people.
Okay. So what sketch are you using? What piece of your sketch? You have 5 words to use. And
it's probably
it probably has to be either rich or young.
Yeah.
By the way, for your sketch, pick one that you really like and underline it. I forgot to say that.
Okay.
Easy, the hammer.
Okay.
Young.
Okay. So that's a good one for you right now. Are you going to use young? So let's go ahead and have us roll. Here is his attack. I am rolling. You roll your dice.
All right.
He is using his status against you, by the way. That's not too surprising, right?
No.
And so he is able. His status is underlined just like your young is underlined. And so he is able to take away his low result. His lowest result now is a 3.
Okay, my lowest result is a 1. Okay.
But you can get rid of the 1 because your young is underlined.
Okay.
So what's your next one?
4.
Okay, so he wins with a 3, and the way this works, let's see here. Damage. Where are we going? In my resolution section. Oh, that's the adversaries. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the way this works is now your confidence suddenly becomes a 2 instead of 1.
Okay.
Okay, so, well, let's see. Hold on a second. Hit, yes. Getting hit. Okay. Getting hurt. Okay, so his result, like I said, was a 3. So this is actually kind of bad. We add 3 to your confidence, so it is a 4.
Okay. So
Right.
I have a 4 of confidence.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So now you can, when and if you're going to try to do something with your confidence, let me know.
Okay.
So you can.
What kind of utility can do my confidence? Is a mechanic or is a fiction term?
Well, both really, because this is a very powerful offensive weapon, and you are going to. It's the only way that you have to save the city is to win confidence conflicts against the true menace.
Okay.
So being hurt in your confidence is very, very painful. So now let's see here. The thing that I'm going to say now is it's up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to just leave the situation before he can hurt you some more?
No, I understand here.
Okay, or are you going to do something with your confidence?
What can I do with my confidence right now?
You can attack him psychologically as well.
Okay, I will do that. Yeah.
Or you can, let's see, you can, or you can just make this a little bit less critical in some ways. Yeah, risking confidence is complex. You are acting or speaking with utter and soul-bearing commitment. You are influencing, terrifying, or impressing someone with long-term effects. So this is pretty strong. This is a major confrontation.
Okay.
So the question is whether you're going to do this or not. Also, you may, simply by trying to use it, you may collapse. Your confidence is already badly shaken. And so if you are beaten in this, if he really hurts you, then you are too conflicted and upset to act toward your current goal, and the only thing you could do is attack them physically or get out of there.
Okay.
He will really make you lose your shit. You will either just have to leave or you will have to attack.
Act like a kid. Yeah. It's great for my character. Now I think I will try to hurt him back, and I will try to stay
cool.
Yeah, I will try to be politically correct. And
before you can even do it, you have to see if you are going to be able to handle this.
Okay.
So what you do is you take the value of the motivation that you're using, and what value is that? 4, correct?
4. Yep.
And then you try to roll it, and you have to get a 4 or better. All of them have to be better than 4. 4 or better. Yeah.
Okay. So I roll 4 dice.
And see how you do.
I have to get a 4. Okay, I have a 4, a 6, and a 6. And a
Holy
check.
shit!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so yes, you stay in the fight. That's fantastic. Okay, so now you can then you go right ahead, and so now you can go on to your desired action, which in this case is going to be 4 dice plus 4 dice.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll. So you're not very good at it, but you know what? That's actually kind of impressive that you sucked up the hit and kept going. So keep going. Yeah.
So 4 and 4, 8 dice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And what is your value?
My value,
Your lowest value.
my lowest value. It's the a 1.
How many ones?
1.
Okay, what's your next?
A 2.
How many 2s?
1.
Oh. Well, he has 2 2s.
All right.
So he has rolled lower than you, if you see what I mean.
Mm.
So, okay. So you do not manage to attack him. He had a pretty bad roll too, actually, so you had a chance. But so the real question is whether you want to be in this or not. He is. So we have been a little abstract. What did you say?
Oh, I'm getting in front of those cameras, and I start to talk about, my father's inheritance will be safe with our corporation because there's only a few years for me to get promoted to the head.
Aha! It's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, to to the head position, but yeah, for now I think he can handle it, but I see a bright future without corruption and people trying to hurt us.
He is going to make a big joke out of it and say, well, then I better get in and do as much damage as I can before that happens. Everybody thinks that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What a fucker. Yeah.
So
Okay.
let me tell you, do you want to stay in this conflict or do you want to get out of it? Because this is a kind of situation where he's made his one hit. He's not aiming at you for some more. But if you really want to take it to him, then it's going to be a tougher conflict, and he will take you down, he thinks.
Now I will run.
The cameras are watching now. The cameras are interested.
Yeah, there's some tension here building up, but I only walk a little on the back, and just I will just wait for him to finish his talk, and no, go home. That's all for now.
So, this is kind of an interesting thing. I have to work on a couple of things about this. So, I'm going to jump now to a situation where we have a group of tenants, people who live in a beat up. Actually, it doesn't look beat up. It looks like it's pretty new, low rent apartment building. And they are gathered and shouting. There's a group of activists that has arrived, and they are shouting and have signs, and a couple of security guys have come out to try to disperse them, and they have started to punch him.
Okay.
So so now the manager of the building is calling the police, and there looks like the people are shouting about how this building is unsafe, and they have tried every possible way and the activists are having a big demonstration, but it is quickly turning a little bit unpleasant. And this is when the private security arrives. The private security, and these guys look like they are from out of town. They do not really look like they have a private security corporation truck, and they have uniforms, and they are not armed like the police. They have some heavier weapons, and they start really hitting the people in the crowd. So if any of you wants to be there, you better speak up, because I am just going to be worse and worse and worse.
So from among the crowd.
Oh, well, there's only one way this can happen.
Yes.
And that's if your coincidence sleuth can actually get you in there.
So how do we decide that?
You have to make a coincidence sleuth roll.
Okay.
No, Edgar, you have no, Edgar, you have no ability to do this. The only way you can get into this scene is if he gets in and invites you.
Okay.
Right. Motif Elemental does not get you into these.
All right.
Nice.
But, either by luck or by other kinds of, or by other kinds of activity, that's the only way you get into, or by detective work, you get into these. So what motivation are you using?
Either, I think I destroy. I'm going to tear this building. I'm going to tear these people apart, and this building with it.
Oh wow! So I see. Okay. So good enough. That's going to be a pretty powerful motivation. And this is a health conflict, I think. You are inflicting some kind of physical damage.
Yes.
So that means you have a 1 and a 1. And so let me quickly look. I have some stuff about discovery here that is new text. And of course, when you write new text, you never know where it is. So that means that I need to look up that kind of thing. Combat mechanics, using motivation, tunes, do damage. Here we go. Perfect. This is actually an argument conflict to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get in because you want to destroy. And then you, and so you have your argument, which is 1. Mm-hmm. And so you cannot do, what sketch are you using? You're using your power, coincidence, and sleuth, right? And so,
yes.
You have to. And yes. So then you also, entering CTS, argument, conflict, yes. Okay, perfect. And there, okay, I've got my opposition right here. Okay, so you roll your 2 dice, I believe, correct?
Okay, I think
will go
so.
for 6. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Lowest dice is a 2.
Okay, so your lowest dice is a 2, and that beats me. So I'm going to 6 dice. Size damage to argument. Okay, so what that means is that I have to roll to see whether I can stay in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I cannot. So that means that you are definitely in the scene, as you said. Something interesting happened along the way, and so your character is an Ángel Caído, right?
Okay, El Ángel Caído, yes.
Right. So you are. Okay. Right. Well, there's a couple of things. you are going to find something out. We'll deal with that in just a moment. You are in that crowd, like you said, correct? So what are you doing?
So basically, we are there's this whole crowd like ready up, and we hear the distinctive sound of a metallic hammerhead hitting the floor, and then someone comes out of the crowd running.
Right. So it could be anybody who was in the crowd. Who knows who?
Yes,
Right.
but at some point
Yeah, of
I
course,
put on
yes.
my mask.
No, I get that. I get that. Yes, that's the interesting part is, oh no, he was in there somewhere.
Yes.
Right. I see that. Okay, so then what we have then for the so you're going to move into this situation. I'm going to tell you some things.
Okay.
First of all, they apparently knew you were coming. And the way they knew, I've had a result on my roll that let me know that they knew. And so they are going to turn out that they have weapons that are very well designed for dealing with you. They have tasers and they have rods, like a baton to hit with. And those batons have a button on them that they... Right, so they clicked on this button, and the tasers come out. So and you can hear them say, and I'll have, the one guy is on his earpiece, and he is saying, está aquí, not like, oh no, no, it's more like, okay, está aquí, váyate, So we have, you're like, okay, they knew I was here. Now, simultaneously, you need to tell me, because you made that roll, you need to tell me what you're going to find out. You're going to find out some things. You're going to find out something specifically. You can tell me more about or in a way, since this is the coincidence sleuth, this is something that you have already found out. Why you are here, really. And so you can tell me whether you are here for what kind of information brought you here, and I will tell you what you are discovering. Here we go. Yes. Then you can tell me a person or an organization that is central to this problem in the city. It's not just an average situation. This something about this apartment building really is terribly wrong, and you know who, whether it is a person or an organization. Or you can tell me a little bit about the past, something that happened in a crime in the past at some specific location, maybe even this one. Some event, a bad thing that happened here.
So, I think I'm going to tell you about what the information I found out that brought me here.
Right.
Which is that this building was built using really, really poorly materials, and basically using the worst materials, using underfunded people, just a disaster.
Right.
And they knew about this. Like, this was on purpose. They did all this to launder money.
Right. Perfect. Okay, so yes, this is one of those with the same disaster up in London, waiting to happen.
Yes.
Right here. Right. And so so there you go, and now we are into this kind of fight. By the way, do you want to tell me that that now this is you, the player, inviting him, not the character? That's up to you. Whether El Santo gets to be in on this as well.
I don't think so. He's too nice for this.
Okay. Okay. So we have you up against these guys, and they are all kinds of bad, of course, to deal with. And so you are up against them, and you've got your dice though, and they've got theirs. They are going to try and zap the hell out of you, and they are coming in this very organized way. They are not in the other guards, the people like the people who were first dealing with the crowd. They're running already.
As they should.
Right. These guys are like the back of their van opens and they jump out, when the guy speaks on the radio, and so they're coming at you. And so you are up against what are called mooks, but don't think that mooks are nothing. Mooks are pretty dangerous in their way in this game. And so you have to tell me whether you're going to, I believe you are using destroy, so you're not exactly like you can, in a physical situation, it's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
What you're up against. Now, mook rolls are a little bit different from the kind of conflict we just saw. They're much easier. So you just have to you're up against a couple of units of these mooks. What is your point in this? You want to destroy, yes. Do you want to you have to name what is called the thing, okay? The thing that you're trying to do. You already said you want to destroy the building, right?
Yes, but there's a purpose to that.
What is that?
Basically, I'm going to show that this building is shit. That is completely
right.
The foundations are shit. That is going to come down easily.
Right.
To
Perfect.
kind of show the truth to the people.
What's kind of interesting is that you are going to make a point as one of the most important actions in the game.
Oh, nice.
So it is the way that you attack the confidence of the adversary.
Nice.
But you cannot make your points until you can take down these mooks.
Okay.
Because they're in your way. So you are going to, there are two units of mooks coming at you, the first crowd and then the second crowd who are coming with to back them up. Mm-hmm. So the first one is up against you. They are going to, if you don't get, you can't ignore them. Mm-hmm. If you do, then they will simply prevent you from destroying the building and making your point. Mm-hmm. And that's done. So you have to do it if you want to do that. So yes. Go ahead and roll your 2 dice and see if you can get a result of 3 or higher.
Okay. Does it count? Because I'm probably using my the hammer from my sketch.
And your hammer is underlined.
Yes.
Ignore your lowest die.
Nice.
Or keep going.
So that's a 4 and a 6.
Oh, so it's a 6.
So it's a 6.
Yes. Yes, and so yes, you take down the unit of mooks lethally or not, as you see fit.
These guys are not common police. These guys are outsiders. They go down hard.
Oh no! Okay, we have a blood-spattered hammer situation. This is where we learn that. This is where we learn just how much of a saint we are looking at here. Right. Okay, fantastic. This is terrible. Blood is spattering, and the taser misses you, and you probably take this energized baton and slam it into somebody between their eyes when they try to use it on you, and something like that, right?
Yes.
All that thing. And so and there you are with your with this inhuman impassive mask, these acts of rage with this mask that has no expression. Okay, so with that going on, the next step is that you have the second unit. So you get to the building, and I think you are probably starting to go after the building, and that's when they the second round of them, mm-hmm. comes along. Some of them are the guys that you thought you took down. These guys are kind of
tough.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I thought I got rid of a few more of them than that. So yeah, it's kind of, but you didn't take any damage. So go ahead and go for it. You're starting in on the building. They're trying to bury you with bodies right now. They're not trying to use their weaponry so much as just trying to bury you with bodies, and then they are going to do that.
Okay, so
roll again.
Let's do this. Oh, that's let's see the other one. Okay.
Not so good, I hope.
Actually, very good. Again, a 4 and a 6 again.
Oh, you can't use those dice anymore. Okay, so we have so yes, good enough. So you lay waste to these guys,
Yeah.
and now you're going to make your point.
Yeah. If it happens
So-
again, then I'm going to change the dice just in case.
No, that's okay. So you are going to be here. Let's see. We've got that. We've got okay, good enough.
So yeah, it's getting very bloody.
Okay.
A couple of drops of blood spread on my mask.
Right, of course. And so what you are going to roll, and I want to point out what happens. Okay, if you have right, okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead and take your 2 dice and roll. This might be very. This is for This is for making the point, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so making the point is a little different. Here you're going to be using. Let's see about the make a point. Yes. Okay. So in this one, it's your confidence. And is this, in making a point, you're not destroying something.
Yes.
I mean, you are physically destroying it, but your point is different.
Yes.
So what
think
is your motivation?
I want to take everything from the Rodriguez family.
Okay, so 3. You have 4 dice to
Yes.
roll. Okay. So,
Yes.
and you, okay. And then I think we're in good shape. 3, okay. So I've got the defense right here.
Okay, this is going to be tough. But I'm probably still using my hammer. So that's something. Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, I can work with that. And I'm tempted to show it to you.
Okay.
Just so you believe me. I don't know if you can even see that.
I can. I see a 4, a 6, a 5, and a 4.
Yeah, 2 6s, 1
Oh,
5,
2
1 4.
Okay, so no problem. You end up with a 5, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So good enough. Okay, so you have made this point pretty hard.
Jesus Christ. I'm usually really bad with dice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play with that a little bit. Okay, so good. You have made this point. You've had a very heroic day.
Yes. So yeah, I mowed down these guys. I go through them, and I go to the building, and I go basically to one of the pillars that is kind of on the foundation of the building,
Right.
and I start tearing it apart, just hitting it with the hammer, and the whole building starts coming down.
Right. So since you made your roll, people get the point that you were actually demonstrating.
Yes.
And so then that means people will investigate. That means that the truth will come out. And so that's what happens. Now you can now get a motif. You know how like Batman Batman has about 50 motifs, but you know how in a lot of cases the lightning will strike as Batman goes across the sky, right, or something like that, or in the case of sometimes it's what the character does. They have a specific action or a specific image or something that they project. but what is the it's kind of like if somebody did a convention sketch of your character for somebody, for a fan, what would they put in the background?
I think a building falling. Just
Okay, yes,
just
perfect. Right, perfect. A building collapsing.
yes.
So that is a motif for your character. Keep that in mind. Okay, so now we have so excellent. So I will either come up with some other absolutely terrible scene, or there will be a scene with a personal scene that either of you wants to initiate, just like you did before.
I do have an idea. If it is still possible because to initiate for the advocate to initiate a scene with with another hero.
Yeah, sure. Just the best thing to do is to just start doing it.
Okay, so
And so what you do is to tell me how you come upon that character. And so, yeah, since you are doing it straight out of the box, you just go ahead and tell me. You describe the circumstances.
So I think when El Santo what's your full name? Something Ruiz.
Tobias.
Tobias. Yeah.
Tobias. When Tobias Ruiz is arriving home after this whole interview thing, this whole press thing, and he opens the door of his apartment. Like I probably imagine like a really nice apartment on the top of a high building.
Yeah.
And
just two twin buildings in the center of the city, so it's probably there on the last.
On the top floor.
On the top floor, yeah.
Yeah. So so we see you opening the door, deactivating the alarm, and then you go into the room and switch on the lights, and you see the Ángel Caído, full suit, sitting in your sofa with a drink in his hand, looking at you through his mask.
Batman, you are such a strange romantic stalker.
I know.
Yes, I know. Okay, so okay, what do you do? Talk to me. Let's see how this goes.
So do I know you from before?
Yeah, I think so.
Never mind. You know who he is.
Okay, so I know who he is.
And I'm supposed to tell you, I'm supposed to basically tell you what you did wrong or something like that.
No, just as whatever it is, something where you are going to cause him to reflect upon his actions in some way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And not abstract. Don't make it up. It's what he really did. Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'm drinking. I take a sip from my drink. Well, really, your drink.
I was going to say, whose drink is this? Yes.
So I close the curtain to have a little privacy with you. I don't want someone stalking in this building and watching that I'm talking with Ángel Caído.
So yeah,
that will tear my reputation apart. I think
I leave the glass on a table empty, and I without turning to you, you are probably still behind me, closing the windows. I say, I saw the news.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that.
You seem quite upset.
I managed to keep my cool.
Yes, I saw that. You did nothing in front of that bastard.
Indeed, but the justice is better served cold.
So
you guys actually have a bit of an argument here.
Yeah.
You're basically arguing that you need to step up your game, and he's saying, "No, I'm doing fine." You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
so it's you could make it a little bit more specific. So I have you could tell him like what you think he should be doing.
Yes. I think I say, you are a rich guy, rich boy, with nice things. People listen to you. Maybe the next time a guy like that, a person TV with you, you don't let him go that easy.
I don't I don't reply to that. I only stand in front of that closed curtains and I close my fist, and that's the only image we get. We yeah, we get from him.
Okay, so so we have an argument in some ways, and so we actually have this to use here. What then is your motivation for El Ángel Caído?
I don't really have one that applies, so I have to come up with one.
Right. You might want to. Sounds like some kind of inspiration or some kind of way to motivate or to inspire, based on what you said. I want to inspire El Santo.
I want to make El Santo angry.
I want to. Okay. Let's get a more direct verb to infuriate him. To
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to anger, infuriate El Santo.
So that sounds interesting. Okay, so then what you will do is use that at 4, and you have an argument of 1.
Okay, so that's 5 dice I will roll.
And are you arguing back for something, to leave me alone, to
Yeah, I think what I did is correct because I have a motivation of 5 that says I may want to finish Javier Delgado's empire because he killed my father, but that will throw off
Right.
all my father built to the garbage.
Right. So that's right. So you could use that one. You could use that one. Yeah.
I think that makes that makes me think I'm doing the right thing because
Right.
I have to wait and figure out the way to tear him down and not make him my father's empire fall back.
Okay.
So what do you
So-
say to me? That's what I want to know. What do you say to me?
He could say exactly that.
Yeah, that's not. It's not time for that. I need to come out with the formula that makes the empire of my father not fall back when he falls back, when Javier Delgado falls.
Okay.
All right. So what happens now is that this is not an attack and a defense. You're actually attacking each other with these arguments.
All right.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll, and then we will see who is coming in first. Okay. So this is a kind of a complicated thing.
Dear.
So also, you are not using your hammer.
No.
You are using. If we were to looking at your sketch, what would you be using? You mentioned your mask.
Yes. Yeah, probably my outfit with my mask. I'm being kind of scary looking.
Right. When you are using what? You're using your status, right?
Probably from being rich.
Yeah. So neither of you is underlined. You have to live with your roles.
Yeah, my role is pretty shitty, so.
Okay. But did you get 3 of a kind in your roll?
No, I didn't.
Okay, how about you?
I have a 2, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Oh, okay. So no, you did not get 3 of the same value. Let me know when that happens, if that ever happens, okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I get 2 from the same value, but not 3.
That's
okay.
right, exactly. So then who has the lowest? You have a 2 and you have a
1.
Okay. So that means that Edgar is coming in first.
Okay.
Right. So what's the way it works is this. Oh no, that's not true. You have the mask, you have the rich. I will look at the sketch and say, no, you're in your place. He is the interferer. You go first. That's how it works. Yours comes in first. That's how it works. So that, and then what you can do, Okay, I'm checking a couple of things. These things are fine. And then you have a choice. You can abandon what you are doing in order to defend, or you can just take the damage to your confidence, and then you will. Actually, you see, your roll doesn't count. He just got to go first. Really, I should have just had him roll, and you did not roll. So your roll doesn't count. Forget your roll right now.
Okay.
That was my mistake. So these are my new rules. And it's not like Sorcerer, everybody rolls all at once. I thought it was, but it's not. So instead, much simpler this way, actually. So what you're going to do is you can abandon what you were doing, which is to make your argument, in order to defend, or you can defend against the attack. These damage to argument, they are not permanent, but they will last as long as it lasts to see who collapses, who fails. So don't worry about your argument going up and up and up. It will reset to 1 at the end of the situation. That's okay. But it won't reset to 1 until we find out how this goes.
Yeah.
So if you want, your lowest value was a 3 or a 2? Not yours. Not
mine was a 2.
2. Okay, so you can either take 2 points to your confidence right now for a total of, or argument for a total of 3, or you can try to defend. Which will you do?
I'm going to check the.
Okay, so you're going to take the hit.
Yes.
So now, in order to function, you have to roll 3 dice and see if you can. Oh no, wait. What motivation is it again?
My.
Number 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, roll 3 dice for that and see if all of them are 3 or higher. Go.
They are not.
He wins. What has happened is that you are going to, for an argument, you concede the point. You do not. You're not going to insist on what you are saying. You and you are free to act in any way you want to, but the argument is, but you're not going to make that point to him. He has stood firm. In a way, that's kind of good.
Yeah.
He has not accomplished very much yet, but we have seen 2 times now that El Santo is not a complete wimp. He's actually stood up each time. He's got something there, right?
Yeah.
So even if he hasn't killed anybody yet, unlike you, he's not, you know what? He's not afraid of you. That's kind of like, maybe you lost this argument, but maybe the kid has something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's knowing that now. I changed my argument. I changed my line of attack.
Well, no, you're done. It's done. Yeah, the argument, the advocacy is done.
Okay.
But we are not still in this scene, and there's one more thing that can be done here, which is that you can discover more. You have the 2 of you are together. You know things. You could ask each other things and see, and so you can try to discover something. You can try to discover more about that. Now that you know about that past event, you can discover more about what happened because of it. You can see whether there is a monster.
Yeah, maybe he's not here only for trying to convince me. He's here because he wants answers.
Well, now that he's impressed by you, sure.
I mean, impress is a strong word.
No. Okay.
But there's some respect there.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we take what we can get,
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit. You guys need to have these discovery rules in front of you, so you know. You can either add a person and organization to the situation, right? We have already added something. We've already added that security firm, correct?
Yeah.
You can add a person in it, or you can add another organization and person entirely. You can also seek to discover more about the past, but also, now that you know something about the past, you can learn about the monster that is in this situation, something that nobody else knows yet.
Okay, when we are both in scene, we can try to find out things.
That's right. And that's the way, and this is where the things come from.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to create them, because I've discovered in playtest that is boring and terrible. The person playing Daredevil does not want to have to make up the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Wants to be terrified by the Kingpin.
Yeah, it's better to find out than to create. Yeah.
In this case, yes.
In this case.
And so I found this out in playtesting with no question whatsoever. So now we are doing it this way. And so you tell me, do you want to find out about a monster, or do you want to find out about more past things, more people and organizations? You're really building the situation here is what you are doing.
I was thinking maybe the monster, but...
Yeah, I cannot. Yeah.
Might as well move to it, right? Okay, so, and so let's see, this is really just an argument roll, and you would use your... you can use almost anything to do this in your sketch except for weaponry. It does not work.
Yeah.
But coincidence and sleuth is a very excellent example, but it doesn't have to be the only one. And there are others. So, and it is an argument conflict, and you're not conflicting against each other. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm probably using my coincidence and sleuth.
Okay.
I can use my sorcerer right now?
Yes, you could. Oh, well, wait, you mean your power?
Yeah.
Yeah,
power.
Okay.
Okay. We are getting into kinky shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, so are you guys? What I'm saying is, okay, we kind of cut from that, and then we see now that you are having more of a serious discussion. Okay, what do you know? What about that building? What did you find out? I mean, things like that. I saw the point you made about that building, and so I noticed something. I'm wondering something, that kind of thing. So good enough?
Good enough.
Okay. If you were more familiar with the system, then this would be more just role playing into it, I think. But that's okay. We're playtesting the mechanics a little bit here. So I have to tell you a little bit about how that works. So let's go ahead and have you, each of you has an argument of 1.
Okay.
Your argument cleared after that conflict, so it's back to 1. And so each of you take a look at the motivation you want, and we know the sketches that you're using. And I have my opposition here. It is a single opposition. Both of you are attacking it.
Okay.
I think
I'm making a design note here.
I think I could use my 3 motivation. Want to take everything from the Rodriguez family.
Ah, okay. Yes, I think so too.
Okay. I don't know if there could be more than 1 motivation.
Do you have to pick one?
Okay.
That's 4 dice in total for me so far. I mean, if not, you can always come up with one.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I think because I create, which I don't know really how that should apply in this, except in the fiction I create something to.
Right. Well, no, yes, but you're not really creating there's not a thing you are trying to bring into existence, you know? I mean, I like that motivation, but you're going to have to find the right time for it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when it happens, I think we will know. And then, so right now, you might want to discover, you know, you might want to learn, you might want to something like that.
Yeah, I might want to learn. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You might, well, and you would say, you know, the secret of this building, right? Okay.
For dice.
4 dice for me too. Well, you will roll
Oh, wait.
5 in total, right?
Yes,
Because
1
of the
plus 4.
elemental
1 plus 4.
powers.
No, because 1 plus 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just start with
Your
an argument
argument-
of 1. So
Right,
that's
correct.
1 dice. Plus your 3 for the your 4 for the motivation.
Okay.
And so-
that's a
Okay.
1, the lowest.
And
Yeah,
what
ma-
do you?
My lowest is a 1. So,
Okay.
Shit.
So tell me about your next value up.
4.
Okay.
2.
Okay. So Edgar, tell me your next one.
4.
Okay. So it beats you, so you do not do your effect to it, but you beat it. So tell me. Oh, so you tell me. What was the value? It was a 4, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Okay. Yes. Okay. So then we will take that and it fails. Okay. So good. I'm beginning to think these discovery rolls are not very well constructed. They seem easy in that you will just keep going until you get it anyways. So I made a note to myself. The discovery rolls are a little too much effort, and they always succeed eventually. So I have to think about that. So here we have this situation. You guys compare your notes, and you get what is there and there. Discoveries. There we are. You've realized that that there is a person that has been how am I going to put it? I'm trying to think about how this makes sense with you guys just talking like this. But there is a person that they are going, that the security company, who is like the arm of this the people who are making all the money off of this, you know, everybody, all the different groups, they all use this same security group.
Okay.
And so but what they have, there's there was an activist who was going to be very effective, who was organizing these things, about these things. In fact, that group that was there was going to be that activist was used to be led by this activist, but he has disappeared. And there are some rumors, and you guys have heard the same things or have learned the same things, that he's going to be that they have done something terrible to him. They are going to, that they have, that something very bad was done to him in some way. So I'm not so. This is the first time I have tried this particular mechanic. I'm trying to figure out how this is really. But the point is, you realize that there is something. There is somebody out there. Something is very wrong with this person out there because of what has happened.
Okay.
Because of these same group, the same things they're doing, the same kinds of badness they're doing. I might need a little bit more systemic work on this. Something I can choose from a list or something like that. But the effect is that you guys know that there is some kind of a being or you've heard the name and let's see, and I have to think of it in Spanish too, which is even more fun. Let's see. Yeah. They call him La Solución. La Solución. They have come up with a solution, and it has something to do with this activist that they captured. That everybody, the rumor, of course, is that this guy was a failure and left. Probably went off to Panama or something like that. But no. They have him, and they call him now. They're going to call him the Solución. So okay. Now, so that's now the end of the advocacy scene is a little bit interesting. The person, the El Ángel Caído has a bit of a change he can make if he wants.
Okay.
And so what you do, there we go. Optionally, you can do this if you want to. You can permanently shift a motivation you have, either one that you invented or one that you started with. You can shift it one up or one down. And change the phrasing, change the words to match that. And so you can, if you don't want to keep, you have some at 4, correct? You want to honor your father, that kind of thing, and you want to learn, correct?
Yeah.
Though you can change, you can put either of those at 3 or 5 and keep it. Or if you don't, then you should erase it. You'd have to reinvent it or just get rid of it if you want. And you can, and don't forget, and you can change something from 1 by 1 in either direction.
So both of us can do that, or?
Your situation is a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
The advocate can do those things, but you cannot make a motivation go up.
So I can only make it go down.
Correct.
But that's good.
It's more effective. You have to change its phrasing. Think about it.
Yeah, so I think I had the motivation I did on the fly about I want to infuriate El Santo.
Right.
So
you can put that at 3 if you want to, and just write it exactly like that. Instead of I might want to, nowadays I want to.
Yes.
Now, do you want to take your other motivations that you started with and put any of them at 1 value lower? Because currently you have a 1, 3, and a 5, correct?
Yes.
You can change the 1 to 0. You can change the 3 to 2. You can change the 5 to 4.
I think it would make sense to change the 3. I want to take everything from the Rodriguez family to 2.
Right, which is, take a look at the phrasing,
Let me see.
I want to
I
take.
want to take. Yeah.
And that's all. It's no longer just about that one group. Now you just want to take.
Nice.
Yeah. You see how the advocate becomes more of a fanatic if you do this.
Nice. Great.
Now, the monster must have a May Court role. And if it's a mastermind, it has to be different from either of yours. If it's the monster, it has to be the same as one of yours.
Nice.
Which means that there's always a chance for the monster to be an advocate.
Ooh.
If the monster is an advocate, they can run advocate scenes on either of you. Not only that, in that case, that gives you the chance, the advocate hero, actually the chance to have motivations go up instead of just down. If you,
see.
but only the monster can advocate for the advocate.
Oh, I see. For a very recent example of this, I see. Yeah, the second season of Daredevil, when the Punisher. I think this is from the comics too. The Punisher changed Daredevil to on the top of a building and starts saying like how he's not effective and how he's not doing nothing, not a real change. I like that.
Well, I think that's just an ordinary advocate scene.
Yeah.
But it's when the monstrous villain can tell the hero things that only the monster understands. So I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I'm just letting you know about this advocacy scene. It's kind of interesting, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so cool. Are we done with our scene? You have discovered some things. You have shared a little bit. You have bonded. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
You should also know that the way that advocacy scenes work, the actual any arguments can be physical instead of verbal or both. It's just that kind of fight doesn't really harm anything. So this is where the Punisher shoots at Daredevil all over the place, and Daredevil puts a billy club into Punisher's face and stuff like that. They are really just because they're arguing about who's right all the time, and whether the Punisher is going to kill this kid or not. Yeah. That's really the argument. It's an advocacy scene. It's not really a health problem.
Nice.
Right. So so keep that in mind if you ever feel as though your argument needs to have a little more,
punch.
A little bit more, chew up the scenery a little bit more. Depends. If you're really pissed at each other. But you don't have to be. We also have advocacy situations in the comics where the heroes are friends. That's so we now have this situation where we can just keep moving on. I do bad stuff. You can have personal scenes. The two of you, now that you know something, you can also do something where you say, no, we are going into action together. And tell me where you are going. This is where you get to set up an action scene that I don't control how it starts. So you can do that if you want to.
I mean, I guess we could just go after this guy, after the solution, la solución. We could go to the quarters, the
general base of this.
Yeah, the base of this security firm. Yeah. Find the solution, la solución.
Yeah, there's the pronunciation again, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is funny because
solución, right? And then I'm saying la solución, a very different kind of way of putting it. So,
no, but sometimes the Mexican actually slips into my.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many soap operas.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I'm looking at something, and as usual, when you are trying to look at something, it is a complete disaster, right? Right. You can have the heroes act upon a common goal in a place and time of their choosing. drawing upon the situational components that they know. Right? So as soon as you start finding stuff out, then you guys can start being more active. Otherwise, I just create bad scenes where the villains are getting what they want unless you stop them.
Okay.
Right.
So we know that this security firm has La Solución, right?
Right.
So that's why we were.
And you also know that they are really important among all these other groups.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that are making these shitty buildings and things.
And we know they knew I was coming, so they've been watching me.
Right. Yes.
So
they knew. Absolutely. Yes.
So if I know that, I probably can trace them back.
Correct.
The other thing we can do, I'm rich as well. I mean, this is sure that they have been guarding me. So I might have connections to pull out strings to know more about the head of this security firm.
Well, you could, but this is going to have to be a discovery that occurs in some other scene.
Okay.
Right. And so, and right now, so you could, for example, get into the scene and then make the discovery roll.
Yeah.
Brings this guy into the, so that's fine. But you don't have to discover to get into the scene. You can just make this because you have this power to do this. If the two of you are acting together, you just go and do it and tell me where you are going, and we are all set, just like you did.
So yeah, I think we should do it.
Okay, so the let's see, we have beginning of situation, good faith, whatever positions, yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is actually a kind of interesting. They have a ship in the ocean that is it's kind of a big flat ship. I mean, you know, like a battleship is flat, but it's not shaped like that. It's not really the same shape, and it's not anywhere near that size.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a aircraft carrier is what I'm thinking, but I'm nothing that big, nothing that huge. But it does have a short landing strip, and a helicopter pad is what it has, not a landing strip. And it has it is the kind of thing that is that actually has a little dock on it so that smaller boats can zip back and forth to the shore. So it's pretty big. You know, people can live on this thing. And
how can we access it? I mean, it's only by air or sea or.
I thought we were dealing with somebody with motif elemental powers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys tell me. Yeah, you guys tell me how you do it. You tell me how you enter this situation, and you can tell me whether it's day or night. You can tell me whether you are coming in stealthily or whether you are coming hammer first. Or so you tell me how you were doing this.
I mean, hammer first is always there. But I'm open to other suggestions.
Yeah, you know that I prefer quiet, right? So yeah, I think if it's for me, I think we should attack on night, and I think because we don't want to make quite an entrance, and I don't want to draw attention to me, and I think I could work with my elemental power to make us some kind of, I don't know, it's elemental power as the arcane power. The color of the fiction is up to me.
You bet. You bet. Yeah, go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no list.
All right. Yeah, because that creative that creativity, that freedom is scary at first because it's like, oh wait, I can create everything.
It's easy
But
for
yeah,
me. I just have a hammer.
yeah, I have a lot of options right here. So yeah, I think
Yeah. How,
Well, you have coincidence and stealth, and so you are just basically around, you know.
yeah.
So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, and you can show us how clever you are with your streetwise stuff, or you can, you know, or the working people's discussion always knows more than everybody thinks, all that kind of thing. But yes, for you, you are, you know, Jack Kirby now. You are going to draw something that is really cool to look at.
yeah, I see the rooms on the water
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and the stuff. I the arcane the arcane writing that someone or maybe something let's drop here in this earth, and I'm able to read it and use it at will. So I start to, yeah, I think I stretch my arm, and with my hand I start to write these sayings on the that I see on the water, and from there it seems like there's something emerging from beneath the water, and it's what could be? Any ideas? I don't. Something arcane, something ancient. Should be.
Some kind of creature or
Might be, but I'm thinking more about the arcane, not the creature itself, but the magic as it is, the raw magic. Something that I don't know if it's.
Well, hold on. Are you making this kind of complicated? You guys are just showing up, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't remember. You don't have to justify it.
Okay.
You don't have to. You have to just describe it. I hate justifications. Can my power do this? Can my power do that? I would think it might work. Like, forget it. Just describe it.
So I might as well create a portal and enter and be on
Yeah.
the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. That's easier. That's easier. Yeah, I write on the air and a portal.
The true name of the ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
of
think.
course, if you write the true name of the ship, of course, now you can be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And yeah, I lead the way. And I say, stay closer. You can be forgotten in this walk. And I walk. And I enter in the portal. And that's all I do. And we get on the other side.
I see. Okay. So, fantastic. We have, so yes, you appear in your own terms. And so that means you are in a part of it that is not, you don't have to go through like the people who protect the security. You're behind all that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so you are going to be there. And I don't see any reason why. Okay, so let me get this straight. We have Xavier Helgados is the guy who has the company that you belong to, right? Who stole your father's company, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Rodriguez y Hijos, they're the ones who make those shitty buildings and who collect the insurance for them and all that terrible stuff.
Yes.
Right. So the politicians, the banks, the insurance companies, the construction people, everybody is completely corrupt, and they all need a hammer.
Yeah.
So,
Very much.
right, but Alberto Rodriguez, although he is just as much of a victim, well, he's just such as much as he's part of it, but he's kind of a victim too because fathers are so positive in our stories.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Well, obviously, Alberto Rodriguez is here having a discussion with one of the leaders. They are in a kind of a conference-y area with PowerPoint, and they're having a discussion about this. So probably a discussion, I'm sorry to say, about El Santo. So. Especially the part where they know your name.
Ooh.
Like his real name?
Yeah. Alberto Medina.
Okay.
So much for description.
So that's because that when you rolled a discovery roll and they were defending, I rolled 3 of a kind. When I do that, then they find out.
That creates an effect, right?
Right, yeah. Correct. So even if you get into the scene or make your discovery, they find out, they know you are trying to do something, and they learn about you. So that's why they don't know anything about El Santo yet. Or sorry, El Ángel. Yeah, they don't know anything about El Ángel Caído, but they know about you. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have the situation. You are going to tell me what you are doing now. Because I should tell you your investigation suggests that La Solución is kept almost as a prisoner here.
I'm touching a wall and trying to touch to get a connection with the writing, with this ancient writing, in order to make sense of what's happening in this place.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you would now remember you can do this kind of thing when you are inside a scene. Your motif elemental power gives you lots and lots of ability to do this inside.
Okay.
But discovery of the future possibilities and discovery of the past and these kinds of investigatory roles of getting into scenes, you don't do that. So you do this, so you can still find things out, but you're doing it inside the scene like you're doing now. That's all. Just saying that just gives you an idea about the difference in the types. You see now what I mean about how the sketch features actually are different.
Yeah.
But it's not because this one gets this many dice and this one gets that many dice.
It affects the fiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have what we are going with here. Tell me. Well, yeah. What are both you are really trying to discover where La Solución is and how to get there. What about you?
I think I'm going to take a detour.
Don't kill anyone, please.
I'm going to pay a visit to Alberto.
Okay.
Didn't you forget your hammer at home?
You do your magic shit. Let me do my business.
Let me tear heads apart.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, they're brothers. They are brothers. We know it. Yes. So what we have here is, I'm just looking about here. There we go. So what is your thing? What is the thing? You can stop something from happening. You can get something. You can make a point. You can discover something. You can apprehend someone.
Apprehend?
That's too Dyson. Probably apprehending the Alberto is too much. maybe I want to discover.
How do they know your name?
No, I want to discover how much he knows, how
Okay.
much he's deep into the shit.
Right, right. Okay. And so then for Alberto specifically, correct?
Yes.
Ah, you're going to discover which way you're going to go with this guy.
Yeah.
You're right. Or rather, you're getting the information you need. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Do you have the same goal? I don't think so. The same thing. You want a
No.
different thing.
Yeah.
What is the thing you want?
Well, I want to know where La Solución is.
No, that's not a problem. I mean your whole situation here. Do you want to, as I say, go before it, to stop something from happening, to get something, to make a point, to discover something, or to apprehend someone?
Okay, so I think, yeah, because I can't get right now the La Solución, so I have to discover what it is, right?
No, you already know that.
Yeah, that's not a problem, really.
So I can. Then I want to get.
Or if it is a problem, then I will say this first.
Okay.
But I need to know the thing before I know what to say for this first.
Well, I want to get La Solución out of here.
There you go. You want to apprehend him, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, it is easy. You have different goals, so you have the same this first. And the same this first is pretty easy. Of course, it will be tremendously easy. Give me just a moment. Just looking at my different rules right now, and it's just a little bit annoying or difficult to decide how to do things with my changing rules underneath my hands. And just checking on a thing or two. A couple of places where I might have notes, and I want to check my where I wrote something. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Aha. All right. One, two. Right. Okay. I think this works. There is an interesting quality that came into when you made your point earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened is that what has happened is that your confidence actually has been pushed up to 2.
Okay.
And we will explain that later. I'm not going to do it in the fiction right now because I'm still working with these new mechanics.
Okay.
You did succeed in making your point, but you took some backlash to do it.
Okay.
And so we will just continue with that. That is okay. And so so I have the scores here. Okay, so you're going to try to apprehend La Solución, and you are going to discover more about Alberto, correct? Yes. Well, there's only one problem. You have to do something first, both of you, and it is the same thing. You're going to have to defeat La Solución, because La Solución has just emerged out of the shadows and has attacked both of you in a horrible, terrifying effect.
Shit.
All right.
It got loose. Oh, and by the way, alarms are going off. You know why? They don't want him to get loose. But he just did.
Oh, fuck.
Your timing was perfect, obviously.
Obviously.
So, yes, you can try to capture him, and yes, you can go and try and find this out about Alberto, but you're going to have to deal with this first because there's gunfire coming directly at you. This creature or being or guy is just, it's as though he just appeared out of nowhere and is it is a man who has no shirt, and there are these kind of lumps or bulges or bumps growing at random around on his body, and his arms and hands are much bigger than is normal, and his face has been let's see. His face has been shaped or pounded or ruined into a solid mass, which is barely capable of expression. The lips can bend a little bit, the eyebrows can move a little bit, but it's almost like it's been scarred, so it's almost like stone. Wow. And no hair, and let's see. I was going to have guns, but I think guns kind of sucks for this character. The guns are no, forget guns. This is going to be this is definitely going to be
a sword fight.
Well, I think we have just got to deal with it. That his hands have been shaped into these sharp. But they're thick, right? Really thick triangular fingers with these sharp ends. And so when he swings, I mean that's like a mace. That's like a medieval.
It's a living weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And so and the worst thing is how fast he can move. You know, he doesn't do this like a rock man. He doesn't do that at all. He moves with this incredible athletic speed, and right now he's making no coherent noise, just almost like he's crying out in pain, like ah kind of noise. And here they come, these slashes. So that's what we are looking at. He is using his weaponry. And he is, let's see, I just want to look at my little list now. Am I supposed to underline something? And if so, what? Oh, and just so you know, the Monster and Mastermind, their base scores all start at 0.
Shit.
Okay.
Now we know what we were talking about here. Okay, so... excellent. I am very happy. I liked the faces you just made. Yes. Yes. Okay. So he's got his face, his appearance is underlined. And you know what? I'm going to underline something else. Okay. You have 2 things underlined. Yeah. By the way, when you roll 3 of a kinds, and I cannot monitor you this on this, you just have to remember it. When you have 3 of a kind, underline the sketch you are using at that moment.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Right. And if it is already underlined, do it again.
Oh.
You get 2. So if you have a double underline, you ignore the 2 worst dice in your roll.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. So now we are going to say what we are doing. I think that he is perfectly capable of tearing one of your heads off, and it has to be you because they know who you are. They have already trained him or formed him in some way, so he's going to come after you. So, El Santo, we are about to lose your character for good. What are you going to do about it?
So, okay, I'm a little lost here because I thought you talked to. I thought you talk about the Angel character, not mine, when he knows his name.
No, the other way
Oh,
around.
yeah, the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I I assumed it was the other way, and that's why I didn't know. I
Okay,
didn't
no, my
actually.
mistake.
No,
No,
no, I think it's mine.
okay.
About-
No, El Ángel Caído is unknown to the, or they know that he exists, like everybody knows he exists, but they don't know what he knows. He doesn't. They don't know that you have discovered these things. They don't
okay.
know that you are after them.
Okay. Then I have. Okay. Okay.
But they know El Santo is, and that they have been. When he looked at them, they were looking at him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unsheath my dagger from the back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna touch the runes on the dagger. The dagger enlightens with a blue blaze,
Yeah.
and I try to stop his attack with the dagger in a really fancy way. So the air it comes like a ráfaga, ¿cómo sería?
Like a
whirl.
net, a trap.
No.
Like a wind, like a strong wind.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
Just
good. You are
push.
going to right. Okay. So you are attacking him with a blast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And now, how about you?
Um,
All of a sudden, your hammer feels a little smaller.
you know what? He's like one of those guys who goes to the gym but only do the upside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit him in the leg, in one of the
Okay.
legs, in the knee.
Okay.
Oh.
So, right. So what we have here is it's all weaponry. Everybody, this is great. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this is all weapons all the time, like in RoboCop, guns, guns, guns. Okay, so we have our roles. Then we have to say who's coming in first. Who is coming in first? And I think it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear. He's got it.
Oh, he. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the ground here and the situation and his
Human
weaponry.
weapons. Yeah.
Yeah, and so therefore he will be coming in with this, and he wants to. Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys are in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah.
So what is it that you are going to be doing? You are going to decide whether you're just going to accept the impact of his role on you.
Now, before you roll.
Well, I'm going. Yeah. Are you just going to accept it, or are you going to defend?
So I have to choose before you roll.
Well, it's an interesting question. Maybe I should roll first. I didn't really know.
I don't know. No, I'm
Last
I'm
time. No, I know. It's a good question. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, I roll first. You are right.
Okay.
Just that's what we did last time, and that's what my rules say. So there you go.
Okay.
No, it's.
I know it's
I think it's interesting both ways.
yeah, no, but
Before
yeah.
I have to just make a choice, and after I have kind of idea of what you rolled, and then I can try to like do the maths.
Yes. Well, I can tell you about it. It's the reason why I hesitated slightly is because of the way it works for this fellow right now. He is using his motivation set at 0, and he is using his health set at 0.
Oh, dehumanize.
So that means that whatever you roll, he will take the highest die as his result. So the only way that you can defend against him is to roll just 1 die, or you uh, basically roll all your dice the same value above his. Or all your dice the same value.
All my dice the same value.
Right.
I mean, you mean I have to?
Because you will take your lowest, and he will take your highest.
Oh.
That's what having 0 dice means.
He's going to use your roll. He doesn't roll. You roll.
He has 0 dice. How can he roll?
Okay. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, this is an interesting choice. So, if I suck up the damage,
right,
I can attack. And
well, yes, but if you suck up the damage, it's an automatic 6.
And if I defend, I have to defend with 1 dice, right?
Well, no, you defend with whatever you roll to defend.
The idea is you are going to take whatever you roll. You are going to take the lowest number, and he's going to take your highest number.
Right.
So to be able to win in that situation.
Well, the only way to defend is to get your dice to be all the same. Yeah. So if you eliminate some of your dice, you might have a better chance to do that. And if you are using less dice, then you have a better chance to do that.
All right.
But use whatever motivation and everything that you have. That, I mean, just like usual.
Okay. So I think. Oh, I'm dying to use the I create. I think it could be a good moment for an I create with this blast of air.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to make?
A blast of air to defend myself with the strip of the katana. I try to deviate to deviate.
Yes, yeah, that's
to deviate his attack.
I see. I suppose I'm trying to think of the. I'm still kind of interested in that create. You know. I mean, in a good way. I mean, can you be a little bit more? If you want to use I create, maybe you could be a little bit more creative in the sense of what are you bringing into the story? What new thing is occurring that makes everybody else notice? It's not just using your power for some shape or some physical impact. You are making something that matters. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I mean, technically you could. I mean, if you just want to say, look, I want to make a staircase, then yes, you could say I create and be happy. That's fine. But I'm thinking of it as
it has more potential.
Yeah, it has more. I'm just saying. I mean, we can be simple with it, but that's fine. So if you want to do that, yes. Actually, it makes sense to use to do that right now. You can say I create, and then your sketch is your power, correct?
Yeah.
And then your health for 1. So that actually gives you 2 dice.
2 dice. Yeah.
But you are not underlined. Nothing is underlined, correct?
No. John will be underlined, and I guess I could argue that my youth makes me.
Well, you would.
Faster, but
well, in some situations, yes. Yeah. But right now, if you wanted to, yeah. Yeah. I mean, just forget the power and just be young.
Yeah.
Just forget the power and just be young.
You gave me hope, and then you throw it out. Okay.
Yeah. I create and youth aren't going to work together very well.
Nope. Okay. Then I create an elemental, and no one is underlined. Nothing is underlined. Okay.
So 2 dice.
Yeah.
But he's not attacking you. He's attacking El Santo.
Yeah, I am El Santo.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm getting this all mixed up then. Okay.
He's El Ángel Caído.
Yes. Oh, okay. My mistake. No. He's. I thought I had this all mixed up. Then it is my fault.
So the
they know you. Yeah, the organization knows you. It
No,
knows.
El Santo. They know El Santo, I think.
Oh, they know
No.
El Ángel Caído then.
Unless
That's
you.
correct. No, because you
Oh.
were the one. You are the role that they won against. They got that.
Oh, okay. So it
All
was me
right.
all along.
Remember,
Okay.
it's you all along. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Because they were
was.
prepared for you and everything. So yeah, he's not attacking you.
Ah, okay, 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 okay.
He's attacking. He's attacking on him.
Yes, El
So-
Ángel Caído.
Can you try not to name a character after the other player?
I tried, but it wasn't up to me. It's not my fault.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. We have that happened to us in some other game. Like the character was named Jimmy and the player's name was Tim, and then somebody started calling him Timmy for the character, and then after a while nobody knew whose anybody's name was.
So I mean, for me, it's not that hard. Like Angel in real life, El Ángel Caído in character. So
Yes. But for some reason that was too simple for me. Okay, so what do we now have? Yes. So
now
how are you going? Now you have to defend, or else.
Oh yeah. So basically, I'm going to put the hammer. I'm going to use the hammer to stop the attack.
And your motivation? Too bad your character doesn't want to live.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could just say, "I might want to live." I mean, otherwise, just
I
give
might
up.
want to leave.
It sounds like he's the guy who made up this character. You know.
Yeah.
This is the downside of having an all dark character there on a fast slide to a bullet between the eyes.
It is what it is. Yeah, I may have to. Unless.
Yes.
Yeah, I think instead of the. So instead of just stopping him with the hammer, I'm going to hit the floor.
Ah, yes, there we go.
Just
you're going to
beneath
destroy
him.
something.
Yeah.
I destroy. Okay, so that's 1 die plus 1 die for your health.
Yes.
Oh.
So
And
yeah,
you're using your hammer, so you get to ignore one of them.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
that's the power game in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's strategy and role playing go together very nicely.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's my signature design.
You know
The better
what?
you play the dice, the better you role play.
Yeah.
And the other way around. The better role play, better dice.
Yeah, you know what they say. For a hammer, everything is a nail.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm going to roll 2 dice and rolling with my hammer and my motivation of I destroy. 3 is the taking. Yeah, 3.
But that's okay. Remember, the whole point is that means that he got a 3 and you got a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that means is that he missed.
Nice.
He doesn't hit you. Let's see here. I just want to double check the whole mechanics, and then the highest result wins. A tie, compare dice, right? Oh, life sucks so bad for you. Okay. Compare the number of dice showing the result value. I'm finding an emergent properties in my system, which I like very much here. They're the same. The lower amount of dice showing the result wins. If they aren't, the total number of dice rolled are compared to the normalized wins. Okay, they aren't. And in the rare instance of a true tie, the hero fails.
Oh.
So the only good thing that can happen here is for you to have hoped to roll as low as possible. Right? Because the lower you roll, the less the effect on you will be. So still the principle of the game, which is rolling, yeah, that makes it works. You want to roll low because this is going to be his damage against you.
Yeah.
So your health goes to 4.
Okay.
And now what will you two try to do? Don't forget, you said what you wanted for the thing that you wanted to do. That is completely flexible. You are not stuck with that. We were not scripting a scene when we said that. That's just what you thought. So you guys are perfectly capable of saying, you know, I think we need a better plan or something like that. Or
I mean, I don't know if I plan, but now I'm fucking angry with this guy.
right.
So I think Alberto is going to have to wait. Yeah, and taking this guy down.
Well, I said you had to do that first anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. And so go ahead. I think you're the one who has been a little busy with crashing through the floor, right? And now you guys are all tumbling around on this shattered floor and all the rest of it. I think that it makes most sense for El Santo to act. He's the one who's kind of had a little bit more room, right, to do this.
Okay, so all right.
So remember, pick your what you are attacking. Well, you can attack with you can attack with confidence. You can attack with this is where you start. You start with your base. Health attack, confidence attack, or I suppose if you wanted to argue with him a little bit for some reason, then you could use argument. But you know, maybe things are a little.
He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Although it's when you get to know the system a little bit more, it's kind of interesting. You can just so you know, maybe this is a good time. Where did it go? Ah, here we are. Okay. If you can get somebody to collapse based on health, they are too injured to move or act. If you hit them with confidence and they fail in the confidence, then they are too conflicted and upset to act toward the current goal. They can still attack or they can run off. If it's argument and it concerns a particular action, they will or won't do that action. But they can go on to do anything else. But if you could argue that you don't want to kill us or something like that. Remember, you know who this guy is. You could make an argument roll to say, don't kill us. Do you know who you are or something like that?
Yeah, because they transform.
And then whatever else he does right now, he won't be trying to kill you for this situation. That is available.
Yeah. I mean, if you want the same treatment I got, that's good for you. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, because if you want to make a health-based action, you're going to have to roll you're going to have to roll dice equal to your motivation that you are using and see if you can make that number or higher. If you actually have a chance to stay up, because if you're using your motivation at 1, you will keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, I really don't want to kill this guy. I want him to stop doing what he's doing. I really think that he's beneath that we need all of that,
Great.
and yeah, and weapons, and this weaponized human body. There's something to be rescued. Um, and yeah, yeah, and
Goddamn heroes.
yeah, I'm trying.
No, this is good. This is good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a motivation to make here, I think, right?
Yeah, I have to make a motivation here. Yeah, because oh yeah, I have to make a motivation here of four. It was
Yeah.
okay. I might want to bring justice. No.
I might want to save him.
Reason
Ah.
with or something like that.
Yeah. Or recover or heal him.
I might want to save him. I like that.
Okay.
I might want to save him for himself. Right.
Or well, from what they have done to him or something like
Yeah.
that. But just save him is fine. And you guys know his name because he was this famous activist. And I'm going to say his name was Ramon Montes.
Okay. I might want to save Ramon Montes.
Nice.
Okay.
So that's 4 dice, and then you have 1 for your argument.
Okay. And yeah, I don't need of this sketches supply, right? No.
You've got some sketch here. Which sketch will you use?
You have to choose one, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
just one.
And you have
Maybe
a
this,
couple of. Go
maybe
ahead.
this is when being young and idealistic comes handy.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, young would be. And then I can remove the lower die.
Lowest, yeah.
So I roll with 5 dice.
And so his situation is also kind of interesting. I have to invent a motivation for him. So okay. He's using his motivation that rather than know or remember, I might want to forget.
Oh.
Nice.
Just lose himself in all of this.
Okay.
He might want to. So, okay, ready?
Yep. Okay.
Now you are underlined, so get rid of your worst die.
Okay, that's a 1 less.
And then
A 2. A 2, a 5, a 2 sixes.
you win. You win.
Oh,
His lowest is a 2, but then his next is a 3.
yes.
Yeah. Yes. He doesn't. He wanted to. He might want to forget, but you have shattered that motivation for the moment,
Yeah.
and he remembers. And the look on his face is the worst thing, really, more than anything else.
Yeah, maybe that dealt more damage to him than the physical harm.
Right. So he does that, and you have convinced him not to attack you.
Okay.
The 2 of you. You have done it. And you are there like, with claw. I mean, you are beaten to shit right now. I mean, you are on your feet, but you didn't go down, but you are physically
Yes,
to
yes.
shit. So the
Then I
and so
walk
yeah.
until I get on his side, and I place my hand on his shoulder, and I'll tell him, it's okay, we'll figure this out. And then
That's to me
All I
or
said,
to
no.
him,
Oh,
okay,
really?
yeah.
Because I said that he said he wasn't going to attack you. That doesn't mean anything else. So his next move,
oh,
of course, is to hurl you against the wall with
oh,
one sweep of his arm, and he goes off to do some pretty bad damage to the head of the security people and their scientists.
oh, well,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's going to
It's not
he's going to
bad.
rip his way through the ship. But going and trying to get him right now might be a little hard.
I think he's good to.
I think
He's,
the last you see of him, if anything, is him diving into the ocean and swimming away.
yeah, he has to be free. I think. Yeah, that's fine. If you're okay with that. But maybe what we want to do now, I think at least what I want to do now, while this havoc is going on, I come back to my original objective. I want to kidnap Alberto.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so to do that, I think you might need a little help because if you're going to do this in any physical way, you're going to have to roll what motivation you want. That's what, a 5, correct?
Yes.
So you're going to have to roll 5 dice and hope that your best result is a 5.
Nice. Yeah. Cool.
Otherwise, you fall over. Right. You see, as long as you keep using motivations at 0 and 1, you will stay up because you can't fail those. Right? You will stay on your feet and keep going. You won't be as effective because you are rolling higher and higher dice with all that damage. But you will stay up. But if you switch motivations, bam, you'll probably just drop. So that's, as you see how this works right now for a fanatical character. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. You want to become more and more of a fanatic because you're like, less dice, less dice, less dice. And then you say, wait a minute, I'm turning into this crazy guided missile of a person, who just treats everything the same. They're all bad. They're all bad. Hit them all, right? So okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe this is when I learned that fuck Alberto is going down too. It's not worth it. So let's see.
Yeah, well, right. Or you can go after him a little bit, or ask your friends to help or something. But it's up to you. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just letting you know. Or we could just do this for fun and say, go ahead and roll your 5 dice and watch you collapse as you try, and then we take it from there.
I mean, to be honest, I would appreciate a little bit of help here.
What you mean? Oh, I see. Yes.
yeah. So
yeah, I think I say.
Let's go to the fiction now.
Yeah. So
here, we're there.
I think I say something to El Santo. I turn to El Santo, and yeah, I'm really badly hurt, and I'm bleeding really bad. And say, there's a guy.
Your hand.
I don't take it. I just say, there's a guy here. He's it's important. We have to take him out of here before this.
Important for who?
For the city.
That'll do it. That might do it. That might do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make this pretty easy because the opposition is going to be completely, anybody who might try to stop you is kind of busy right now.
Yeah.
So really it's not going to be very difficult. You're just going to have to, if you just want to do motif elemental, then you can get out of there with Alberto. Just use the powers and get them. This is where motif elemental is great. You can do anything with these damn things.
Okay, we see that this is scene. It transports us for wherever is Alberto, okay? And
Yeah.
then the lights go out, and the next thing we see is on the docks, far away from that ship, how Alberto and the two of us appeared, and then
Sure.
I
Well,
throw
hold on.
him
Let's
on
yeah.
the
Hold on here. Let's get a little rolling in there.
okay.
So your motivation here is what?
I might want to honor my father's legacy I had before, right?
Right.
And what I did with that motivation, you told me that I could lower it to a 3, right? So
Right, correct.
that's what I did. I want to honor my father's legacy.
Good enough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get that. That's good. And then you have that, and then you have a. This is you're not really attacking his confidence. Well, you're attacking. Yeah. This is you're kind of convincing him to come, no matter what. Yeah. I mean, in a kind of a yes, you will sort of way.
Yeah.
So go ahead, do that. Yeah, with a 1. And so go ahead and roll that, and I will roll this opposition. So go ahead. And what is your roll?
4, and it is 2 twos.
Okay, no
and
problem.
5s.
No problem. You got a 2, he got a 1, you got him.
Okay.
Okay, so good enough. That's it. Oh, did you get 3 of a kind?
No.
Ah, this is terrible. You don't roll any of those. Okay, so therefore you are all set. I think we're going to call the end of the session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is because we did a lot, and you guys got to look at some things.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on those 3 of a kind rolls. In fact, that's a really good reason for you to go ahead and try to make shitty rolls sometimes. Because, so for example, go ahead and roll I'm going to say, roll your 5 dice right now for the motivation that you were trying to save, because you did use it. Go ahead, roll.
Okay.
That you were trying to save Edgar.
Actually, I got 4 twos.
No problem, but more importantly, you did not get them all 5 or higher, correct? No, because you got some 2s.
Yeah.
So number 1, when you arrive on the docks, you are completely unconscious. That's all we know. And that's all we hear about from there. So that's good though, right? I mean, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You collapse at the end of this. Number 1. Number 2, you now can underline the sketch you were using.
Which in this case, my objective was to get this guy out. I didn't say which one I was using, but
Yeah, it wouldn't be the hammer.
yeah, no.
It might have been coincidence sleuth, but I don't think so. I think it probably would have been the fact that you are kind of, what is the word I want? You have kind of a relationship to him based on that you have an adult perspective on his youth, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So I think adult is probably the way to go.
Yeah.
You have a sort of matured sense of responsibility toward him.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I cannot see myself as a parent figure.
Right. Well, a little bit anyway, or at least enough.
Yeah, you don't try to talk to the people that try to kill us. And
Right. Okay, so cool. So do you see how with bad rolls, even with succeed or fail, dice with rolls with a lot of dice, they keep underlining more and more things.
Okay.
Right? And the more things you try, okay, that's great. The more chance you have to underline different things. And don't forget, you get double underlines too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then after advocacy scenes, you can change your motivations the way we discussed, and then also with your personal scenes, which you have not done yet since the beginning, you can clear your damage. So if you want to, right now you have a lot of damage. Right now you still have damage confidence. Have a personal scene with someone you like,
Okay.
or are close, or someone you are emotionally close to. Even an argument with Xavier will do it.
Okay. So.
But we'll do that. We can do that next time.
Yeah. It's
Sure,
better
Bob.
because. Yeah.
Okay. But good. So you see how this is working, right?
Yes.
I think a
Okay.
little bit
Yes.
anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
And then another couple of other points. The way that you will succeed is a long-term set of attacks on the monster's confidence. But the problem is that right now he has a feature that when you hit him, he will only take one and you will also take one.
Yeah.
That's the problem. What you have to do is make the point enough that your confidence gets above his. You actually have to get to a point where your confidence is above his. And then you can do full damage to him.
Either you try to convince him or you try to make a point so his confidence lowers.
Right, correct.
But not attacking him only because.
Right. It's not going to work so well.
Yeah.
Daredevil cannot just go and punch the Kingpin. It does not work.
Yeah.
He can hurt him, but he will end up hurt worse.
Okay, you're right.
Nice.
So, but that can change if you break his confidence and you still want to kick his ass, then you have a chance.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, it's kind of interesting. It's why I think when Batman is well written, he is actually trying to save Two-Face and the Joker.
Yeah. That's it. And when we see in the comic that the Joker dies, we are sad because the scenes
It is a defeat for Batman.
It's a defeat for Batman.
Yeah. He's taking the dead body of the Joker and he's walking through this policeman, and we are like, what the fuck? What happened?
Yeah.
And we are all sad. And that's.
So cool. So I'm actually kind of pleased. I think there was a lot of effects that I really liked. I will tell you a little bit about what happens at the end of the story, which incidentally, you could lose.
Yeah.
You could lose this story and the monster will continue, right? This particular set of events will conclude, but the monster will not be defeated. And so if you, after the whole story is over, and we take a look at which way you went, did you go to vengeance or not? You know, which side did you end up on? Then we will do some things. Let's say you will have a bunch of underlines all over your sketches now. We will erase all of the single underlines, but all of the double ones stay as single ones for the next story. Right. And then if you you should also know that at a personal scene you can drop one of your bases to 0.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're allowed to do that. And which means it becomes superhuman.
Yeah.
You can do that. And if you do that, it will stay that way.
But you drop 1 of 1 to 0, right?
That's right.
Yeah. No, not any. Only the one.
Yes, exactly. So so you can see, you know, this is where Daredevil, you know, becomes physically really superior. Although an advocate character may consider argument.
Yeah.
And so then motivations stay where they went. You don't reset the motivations. And then you can mess with the sketch features a little bit. You can, you know, if you want them to be a little different, you can write a new key conflict if you want unless you want to keep the old one. And you can also, if everybody agrees, all the hero players agree, they may each take a second power sketch. If you did yours, if you have coincidence to sleuth or power or cosmic mystic, you have to take motif elemental. You can't. Nobody can be both like sleuth, coincidence, and cosmic mystic. That doesn't happen. So if you have cosmic mystic, you have to take or whatever. On the other hand, if you have motif elemental, you can take one of the other two. So those are the advancement mechanisms between stories.
I see.
Okay. Cool. So cool. It's getting pretty late for me, so I need to crash. But hopefully this was not that half bad. I can see some problems. I wrote notes. I have some problems.
It was nice, I think.
But they were not the kind of problems that ruined play, though.
No, and I saw really cool stuff. Like when I took the advocate, what's the name of it?
Yeah.
The advocate. Yeah, I wasn't too sure about what was it going to be. But then I saw that this rule of you can start a scene with another hero and basically tell him you should have done this or whatever. And I was like, yes, that's so great. And when I saw when I reduced one of my motivations from I think it was from 4 to 3, and it became more powerful, more effective. But when I saw that I lost part of it, that it became less about what I originally wanted to do and more about like this rage to whatever. I saw that. I felt that. Very powerful.
That's good. It's interesting because when Ram first did this game 10 years ago, he idealized the lowering of the numbers. He was thinking in a very philosophical way that you became more in touch with the universe and less subject to chance and more in line with the meaning of life and stuff like that. So it's kind of a nice thing for you to do this. Now he's 10 years older. And when I started talking about this, he said, I hadn't thought about this before, but do you really want all your motivations to go down to 0 and 1? Really?
Yes.
Are you sure? He says it works really well for this.
You're losing the point of your fight.
Right. And so sometimes you might want to bump it back up, and so it's kind of an interesting. The advocate scene allows you the chance to say, okay, this is where my character is forced to think about this. So thank you for playing with me.
Thank you.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I hope you guys are saving these recordings because I'm going to want them. I have Adobe Premiere now. So I'm editing, but you know what? I don't know how. So is either of you any good at this?
Probably Angel, but
I've done a little bit, but I haven't used Adobe Premiere.
Well, I was really good with Windows Movie Maker, but it is discontinued completely. It is gone from the earth. So now I have to do this.
Yeah. So
but I can tell from the program that it can do everything I want.
Yeah.
But
how to?
Well, the people who did it obviously were skilled with the old hardware to do it. So they set up all the software to look and feel like that hardware.
Yeah.
So it's very intuitive if you learned in film school how to do it on all those machines with real film. But for me, I want more of this kind of boneheaded, okay, snip there, stick them there. I don't care what it looked like when it was film. But they have a lot of very subtle techniques that in the program, and so I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to need one solid session, somebody who does this. I'm going to need, I might ask on G+, I think.
This is a little bit above my pay grade.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll stop recording now. I'll upload the video to YouTube. It will be
Yeah.
public, and so you can easily download it, and you can do it where you want.
Well, wait. So you're going to put it on YouTube and you're going to make it public? I thought you would make it unlisted.
Oh, I mean, well, I mean that's up to you. If you
Because
don't want-
that's just for me to grab it, right? It's
Yeah.
just basically
It can get
uploaded. You
on the-
upload it, I download it, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And so then once I have it, then we can probably kill it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be really good. So I'm not sure how to download from YouTube. Is that allowed?
Yes, that's pretty
Okay.
easy.
Okay. You might want to tell me how in an email so I don't explode the internet. But okay. Well, guys, thank you.